As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings to the whole house, to the greatest people that ever walked planet Earth, that the Father somewhere in his book, somebody go get that precept where he surnamed you. He called you the apple of his eye, and that's the kingdom of the Israelites. Father, thank you once again for allowing us to come together in fellowship with our people, your people that you surname. Father, thank you for this new year that you've given us. I ask that you bless each and every individual that's on the panel that comes on and everybody that's in the chat, that you protect them this hour and that you renew their mind, refresh them in their culture so that they may be able to ultimately do your will. Your will, simply the information that you've given them individually and the task that you've given them. Father, we also thank you for first fruits. First fruits, the only begotten. The book say, somebody get that precept, say he was hung on a tree. What that sound like? That sound like strange fruit to me. You hang somebody on the tree. That's strange fruit. You was doing strange fruit back then. Back then, the heathen was doing you strange fruit. He doing you strange fruit in 2024. 2023, 2024, 2025. Don't make a difference. Thank you, Mashiach, for doing the work. Doing the work that doing you came. The book say, he said, I come to do not my will, but your will, Father. That's what he said. We thank you for that. We thank you also for the Ruach, Father. Because without the Ruach, we wouldn't be able to decipher and discern and deconstruct and give proper understanding to the book. And we thank you for that, Father. Greetings, family. Greetings, peace, and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Hope everybody's been doing well. Thank you for joining another KC with the old head. And I will promise not to yell at y'all so much today. I'm trying to keep it calm, although I haven't had my tea, so I did have some coffee, so I might be a little bit grumpy or a little bit fired up. Today we have a special guest, and before I introduce the brother, you may be aware of the brother Ross Talley. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, because like we always do when we have a guest on, and the brother, before I introduce him, I want to take y'all to his channel. And the brother got some bomb information, and he does great readings and breakdowns on the different books. You'll see the book of Jasher here. You'll see Jubilees. You'll see the book of Enoch, so on and so forth. Not only does the brother do a great, his channel's called Red Letter Rap. There it is, and I'm drop it in the chat. Not only does he do a great job of reading and doing great breakdowns, but the brother is a young star, and he's also good with the young stars when it comes to that music y'all listen to. Now, y'all know I'm old here, so I'm going to tell you, get off my line. You young stars can't do it like how we did it back in the day. Nah, yeah, I'm just messing with y'all. But anyway, there's the link to the brother's channel if y'all would entertain the old head, go ahead and click on his link, subscribe, and then participate when he does lives. I participate. I jump on when I can, and I make my comments. And the brother always he brings it hard. He brings it raw, straight, and true, uncut, no, not filtered, no chaser. So I want to introduce to y'all the brother Rawls. Tally Rawls, go ahead and greet the fam. Go ahead and greet the fam, Rawls.
Shalom, Barakah to you always, family abroad. It's your man Yasha Ross, aka Red Letter Rap. And yeah, I appreciate all of that. All praise to the Most High Yah. There's a whole lot of family already in the building that I know and they know who I am. Everybody I'm seeing so far, for the exception of Kara King and Kasiya, Shalom to you always. Amar Yasrael, Shalom to you always. Sharon O, Shalom to you always. To everybody that don't know me, Shalom to you always. Peace and blessings to you always. So, oh man, like reading this word is so important, and like, oh man, it's a humbling experience. Real humbling experience. Like coming from where a life that us knuckleheads come from, and then doing this, nobody ever could have convinced me that I'd be doing what I'm doing right now. And I thank everybody for giving me some well wishes last night. You know, some good prayers. Those of y'all that tune in, y'all can hear my voice. You can hear that this is not the natural voice you always hear when we're reading scripture. So that this coughing really has taken a toll on me. But this is a little different than reading scripture. We can dialogue, but when I go into a coughing spell, I'm fixing to go ahead and have to mute myself. So and that's why we didn't go live last night. But go ahead,
Appreciate you, family. Appreciate you jumping on with me too, because what I want to do is, and I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I want to get a rounded perspective on this conversation. I just don't want it to be the old head yipping and yapping, yelling at everybody. I want to get the old, the young, male and female. So when I drop the link, if y'all would share your perspective on this conversation like we normally do, I would greatly appreciate it. And as you all know, it's a conversation. And the most important part of the conversation is not the panelists, it's not me, but it's you in the chat. Why do you say that, brother? See, I always clarify that and say that because the chat is where the action is. The chat is where you're not only gonna get edification, you're gonna get bomb precepts, and they're gonna be able to connect the dots to everything that's being said and make it make sense. So I appreciate the fam in the chat. So like we normally say, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring the chat in like we normally say. You could have been anywhere. You could have been. Hold on a second. Uh, hold on a second. I gotta go on mute for a second. Let me see. Hold on a second, fam. I gotta take this. I gotta take this. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go on mute for just a brief second. Hold on. Brother Rawls, if you could entertain the family
I
for
will. I
just a
got
hot
you.
second, go ahead.
I
Take it
got
from me,
you.
bro.
I got you. So family, this is an honor and a pleasure to even be here. You know what I'm saying, for these kingdom conversations. And I think this is moments like this we got to take. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that we take for granted in the kingdom. And it's like, yeah, it's cool to be on a panel and whatnot, but we got to understand those of us that are on a panel, that are put in a position to share information. We still got to love you through it. And like for those of y'all that, like I said, that are not familiar with me on Red Letter Rap, you know, that's a safe place where the scripture's gonna cut eventually. The scripture gonna bring something out of us that make us confess like what we wrong at or where we've been wrong at. And so Red Letter Rap is like, it's a safe place for when that word cut and make you confess. You can get that confession. Now, don't nobody ever expect you to come through Red Letter Rap and empty out your whole closet. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever feel like that. But if the word cut and bring a confession from you, you in a safe place to do that. And we're gonna love you through whatever the Most High is bringing you through. You're not alone in this walk. You feel me? So it's an honor and a pleasure to actually be in this kind of a position that I never thought I'd be in, to try to help hard heads and knuckleheads like myself, and even those that, I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. I've heard harsh comments like recycled Christians. You know what I'm saying? It's a humbling experience to be able to help hard heads and recycled Christians learn and understand what they don't understand, because the Most High has given a charge to someone that would listen. And so the reason why I go so hard is because even when I was in the world, so many people forsook me and stabbed me in the back and, you know what I'm saying, left me homeless regardless. So being that in the world living in sin, I was discarded by everybody. Now that I'm in the truth, do you think I really need to sugarcoat anything to appease you? That's one of the things that me and the Most High, clarified at the very, very beginning of my obedience and my awakening unto him, especially my obedience unto him. And I asked him, when I begged him for a fire in my bones to serve him, he said, are you sure? You're going to lose people. And I said, I ain't got nothing else to lose but my life. And I'll gladly lose that for you. That's all I got. So I need y'all to understand that whenever you hear me talk, and I'm trying to love you through something, and sometimes I come a little too harsh because I don't know no other way to say it. But I need you to understand something. I'm not here anywhere you see me. I am not here to appease you. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear and what you feel like you need to hear for the day. I tell you what you have to hear. And just like Go Black to Africa says, I mean, shout out to him. I'm gonna give you something each time, Most High willing, that you can either pick it up and use it, or you can toss it to the side and go on about your day. That's between you and the Most High. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Whatever talent he has given me to give unto you, I'm going to give it freely by faith without fear. I mean, I'm going to tell you what you got to hear, what you need to hear. And what you do with it, that's between you and the Most High. I love you, but I can't make you receive what I can't make you receive what you don't yet understand. I'm going to love you through it. If the Most High, like we were just talking behind backstage earlier on, if the Most High keep us in contact with one another to where we're at a doctrinal disagreement, or maybe there's just a situation in life that we're at a disagreement at, and I'm supposed to love you through it, whether we agree or disagree or not. And so Most High willing, he'll allow me to come back to you from another angle to help you understand what you don't. But if the Most High don't allow us to dialogue anymore over the subject, maybe it's not for me to give it to you. Maybe it's for somebody else to give it to you. But I'm going to love you through whatever I possibly can. Go ahead, family.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you taking over the mic while I could get what was figured out in the backdrop. Now you touched upon some things, and it's funny how the Father worked. It's funny how he worked, because you touched on Gold Black. I'm actually gonna feature one of his videos. So ain't the Father something?
Oh yeah, he do it all the time. He do it all the time.
He's something, man.
He'll make us say something in relation to what we fixing to go into.
He's something else, man. The Father's something else. All right, I'm bring on the brother Tone Spain. Hey, Tone, shalom, brother. Good to see you, man. What's going on, man? Introduce yourself. Brother Tone, you hear me?
I seen the email, and it took me a minute, just 'cause I had stuff going on in the crib, but I'm honored to be here for sure. What's up, Brother Ross?
Shalom, brother Tone Spain. Been a minute. I've been trying to hit you up on Telegram and get your perspective on some things.
Word. Yeah, man. My bad, man. I think I took that app off the phone. I'll put it back on the phone though, for sure.
Oh, okay. It is what it is. We keep. I think I still got your number and whatnot, but yeah, man. I want to dialogue with you another time.
Word.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know Tone Spain is a prolific writer, rapper. He came from the Christians like we all did, but morphed into his true culture. There's the link to his channel. And if y'all not subscribed, we've had Tone on before. If y'all not subscribed, family, y'all need to go ahead and subscribe to the brother channel, because he brings it like no other. And I'm going to tell you before you go to his channel, don't try to challenge him to no 3-point shoot, nor to no hoop, because he's a ringer. I'm spoiler alert, he a ringer, so don't try to play him in no hoop. Because he'll take your money though. He like one of those pool sharks. You go in the pool hall and you play them. They act like they not good. Then they take all your money out your pocket. That's Tone Spain on the hoop court. So y'all go to the brother's channel and Tone, go ahead and greet the fam right quick before we jump into it. Before I greet the fam, go ahead and greet him, bro.
Shalom to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I appreciate everybody who subscribed. My channel is kind of inconsistent at the moment, but that's just because I've been in a season of trying to sit back and learn. Like Brother C said, it's been a minute of me walking in Christianity, and it's a long story behind that, because I was never really a good Christian, and when I found out I was an Israelite, it made sense why I was never a good Christian. But yeah, I was always clashing with the churches. I was always going through it with the interpretation of the scriptures. I'm like, nah, I'm not seeing that. So several churches later where I'm getting kicked out and thinking I'm the problem. And then my brother Ishan invited me to be part of a Christian rap group, and then him coming into his awakening and presenting some information, and the rest is history. But shalom to everybody in the chat, and I definitely love the Salt of the Earth family. I'm always around, even when I'm not. A lot of times when I'm listening, I'm at work, so I had the earbuds in and I can't interact, but I'm listening.
I know you back there lurking at the scenes, just like a lot of times when the other brothers come on. I'm back there lurking in the scenes, reading all the comments in the comments section, going on y'all channels, the different channels, and there's a myriad of different Israelite channels, and I'd recommend that. Some people say that you can't get fed everywhere. I don't know that I agree with that, because everybody got their own lane. Everybody got their own lane, like me and Ross was talking in the background. Everybody got their own work that the Father's given them. And your work is not just sitting up on YouTube, listening to YouTube videos all day, and that's all you're doing. You listen to those videos, then it should stir your mind to do something. So now I'm going to go ahead and greet the family. And like we always do, fam, you could have been anywhere. You could have been cooking breakfast if you're on the West Coast like I am, cooking breakfast so that you can eat, or you could be like Tone is on the other side. He on the right hand side. You could be out there getting ready to take somebody money and hoop, or you could be just relaxing after watching the NC2As last night. But you decided to join the fam, and I appreciate you. So you make sure that when you in the chat room, that you greet the family. So like we always do, we go down, we greet everybody, we shalom everybody. Why? Because this is everybody's house. If you're an Israelite by blood, if you're a wild branch Israelite that don't know you an Israelite, you're so-called gent, we'll still greet you anyway. So everybody greet everybody, and don't be acting like you shy. Don't be acting like, oh, I'm stuck up. I can't speak to him or her because they in the front of the pew and I'm in the back of the pew. No, there ain't no pews here. We just one big family that's coming together like the dry bones. So Terry Payne, shalom, sis. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Nature's a Graffiti, troublemaker extraordinaire. Shalom, sis. Hope you're well. Sharon O. Shalom, peace and blessings. Hope you are well. This is my brother Ross Talley, Red Letter Rap. Shalom to you, brother. Hope you're well. Wise Society, peace and blessings. Glad to have you on board. Nature's Graffiti says Psalms 119, 126. Tree of Life version 126. It is time for Adonai, the Father, to act. They have violated your Torah. Yes, it is time for the Father to act. And that's why this nation and all the nations that afflicted the apple of his eye is under judgment right now. And you see the judgment coming down. I don't even have to get fired up about that. Amir Yisrael, shalom, brother. Peace and blessings. Glad to have you on board today. Good sister Cindy Carr, shalom. Peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well with you today. Amir Yisrael says Psalms 82:6. I have said ye are gods, and all of your children are children of the Most High. That's a telling conversation right there. That goes on. That goes on further precepts with the book of Ezekiel, where he talks about the dry bones. You haven't come into your fullness yet. You haven't come into your fullness yet. But when you come into your fullness, some of that precept you're gonna recognize. when they see Marvel Comics come to life right before their eyes, because they writing about y'all when they write Marvel Comics, and behind the scenes you got a lot of Negroes drawing the artwork, doing the writing of the scripts, also creating. Yeah, see that? That's one thing that'll tell you how great you are, how you the hitting ones. Not only is you hitting that your culture is hitting, but you're hitting because you make everything pop on the earth. Everything pop on the earth because of you. Let's see you keep going. Casey Yah, grace and peace. Yasharal, peace and blessings. Kara King, shalom, sis. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Pennsylvania, Yah's blessed. Peace and blessings, sis. Hope you are well. There they go, dropping them precepts. And see, this is why I say the most important people is the people in the chat. You see them precepts that they got. Bring your family back to this and have them put me on mute and just read through the different commentary that's going on, because that's where it's at. Darnell Blackshear, peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope you're well. Hope the Father's been keeping you. Stay on fire ministry. Burn them up with the book. Shalom, peace and blessings. MC Peculiar, peace and blessings, brother. Hope all is well. Joe Scott, what's good, brother? Hope you are well. Peace and blessings. Unapologetically real. Shalom at SOT family. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Ayaban Haya Nabaya. Man, y'all Israelites, man, with them hard ones, man. I tell you. Peace and blessings to you. Shalom. Hope all is well. Omaya Yakita. Shalom, sis. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. And hopefully your sister joins on, and hopefully one of y'all can actually jump on the panel, because I do want to get the female perspective on this Black Unity thing, because it's very, very important. Nylanti, shalom, peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well. My good brother Kadar, hey Kadar, peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope you're well and that the Father's been keeping you. Kadar, I'm going to drop the link in the chat if you want to join on. You already know what it is. So go ahead, jump on if you want to, bro, and you'll add good flavor to this conversation that we're about to have. Kevin Maxwell, hey, shalom, my brother. Hope you are well. Peace and blessings to you. Helen Falarami. Peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope you are well. Y'all better be. I don't see y'all greeting everybody like how y'all normally do. Y'all better be greeting one another in this chat. When y'all get to where y'all going, y'all get to the land, it's not going to be a situation where you're not greeting your family, you're not saying hey, and you're not loving on one another. So you better make sure that you do that now. Get in the habit of get in the practice of speaking to your family now, because when you're in the office, when you're on the job, when you see the heathen, you smile from ear to ear. And you see him coming, and you'll be happy to see him. And that same heathen trying to stab you in the back 100 times, but you're still happy to see him anyway. You should be happy to greet your family and be around one another. Awakening daughter Sarah, peace and blessings, sis. Hope you are well. Let's see here. Ya'eh Quad 12 Yehuda, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, and to his son Yehoshua HaMashiach, Shabbat Shalom, and blessings, peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Let's see here. Let's keep going down the line. Up next, there he is. Peace and blessings. Up next, hope you're well. Hope the Father's been keeping you. Up next, get saved. You need to get saved. Ticey Roller, shalom, brother. And Ticey, if you want to jump on, man, I'm gonna drop the chat, because I'm trying to get a well-rounded perspective of age groups and gender being male and female. That's it. There's only two. We don't prescribe to the alphabet soup or none of that foolishness. It's male and female. So if sisters want to join on to contribute to the chat, there go the link. You're more than welcome. Tashi P, shalom, peace and blessings. Jimmy Gilliam, peace and blessings to you. Hope you're well. Let me see. Did I get it, everybody? Oh, there you go. My man. Jabroni, how you doing? The uncleavable one. Yeah, you should we should get some shirts with that, because I'm uncleavable too, bro. I'm in the Jabroni contingent. Shalom, peace and blessings. LNL to you. Go ahead, say that, bro. Go ahead.
You be wilding. Because trust me, I know, man. For those of y'all that don't understand, man, like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're not meant to understand. This is one of those things where I'm just gonna let it go. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. But I'm just gonna keep my chuckle to myself right about now.
I'll say this.
I'm not bringing nobody through no gate, man. Y'all better.
well, okay. So here's what it is. I believe I got everybody. We can go in now. I believe I got everybody. It looks like I got it. So here's the thing.
let's go ahead and talk about that one just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay,
Let's
we'll touch on that for a moment. We'll touch on that for a moment.
Because
So,
all right, so
go ahead.
The understanding is, or the question is, can everybody else be saved? You know what I'm saying? Like, or the question is though, what gate is everybody else supposed to come in? I don't see none of their names on no gate.
Right?
Say it's 12 gates, right? You know, for the 12 tribes. The only gate that they get to come in is by those or of that tribe that has brought them into the truth and understanding. That's the gate that they get to come in. And so when he says the uncleavable one, he's like, I ain't bringing nobody to no gate. If you ain't got the blood on you, if you ain't got the blood on you, you ain't welcome.
And here's the perspective. So here's my perspective on it. Everybody got their lane. Now I'm not saying that that's my lane, because my lane is to focus on Israel and to shake Israel so that Israel use their talent and gifts for Israel. The Father gave each and every one of us what you call, putting in quotes, free will. But that free will is to do his will.
Right.
Especially if you're an Israelite this hour. And so that's my office. Now, there's brothers that do have offices to be able to be, and we all supposed to be a light unto the whole earth. It's some brothers' office to be able to bring those other members of the human persuasion in. Now, what I will say is it's not your brother C's office, because I'm strictly focused on my people and doing what's up with my people. But you are absolutely correct. The only way you're gonna get in is with an Israelite holding your hand.
Brother C.
Yes, sir.
What's that precept where they talk about, some of the prophets themselves could only save themselves if they was alive? They couldn't bring nobody else.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the prophets, or you talk about when my man was in Sheol, and he was talking to I believe he's talking to the Father, and the Father said no, if they can't, but they wouldn't believe Moses, and Moses is up there with him.
No, it's
so
another
you can't go back.
That's a good one. But there was another precept where he was naming prophets, and the Most High was like, even if this brother was here, he could only save himself. I believe it's in, man, I'm getting more acquainted with the Apocrypha, but I believe it's in the Apocrypha. I gotta find it. I was just listening to it the other day.
All you gotta do is give a piece of it to the family there. Get it. You talk about this one here, Ezekiel 14:20.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
We got it.
There we go.
Yeah, Nature's Graffiti, she be on it. Like I love when she come through Red Letter Rap. I love when Sister Shalisha come through Red Letter Rap. Rachel S come through Red Letter Rap. There's some sisters out there that like you give a precept like, oh, that's this rip.
Man, and see, I'm an old head, man. I hate to say this, but I done forgot a lot of where things are. And that comes with age or whatever. But this is the precept. Tone, go ahead and read this precept, bro. Since you called it, go ahead and read it.
I appreciate you, sister. Nature's Graffiti. Ezekiel 14:20. Though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord God, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter. They shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. That's crucial.
And it's funny. And it's funny. My other sister, who's a troublemaker, and before I say this, I will say this. I'll say this. Contrary to popular belief, two things. Number one, the only people on the whole earth that can decipher this book is the Israelites, nobody else. That's number one. Number two, our sisters, and they'll tell you, put a one up, sis, if I venerate y'all every chance I get, that they will slice and dice your head off with this book if you come incorrect. Point blank, period. They're not playing around. So now I'm going to read what Notorious Hebrews say. What or who are they being saved from? That's a good question, because Christianity will tell you that they being saved from persecution. They being saved from abortion when most of our babies been getting aborted. What did Nixon say? He want to kill the black weed. No. Margaret Sanger said she want to kill those black weeds. Nixon said he wanted to kill them black babies. which is why you've had continual war after war after war after war. The father in the 2000s and said, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Now the war is on you. You notice that everything that they tried to do to you has been turned around and reverberated back to them. And now everything that they tried to do to you is happening to them. You can't tell me the prophecies of the book is not real. Nobody can tell me that. So now we're going to get into the conversation now that we done greeted everybody. Appreciate that. Appreciate going into that, Rose. And one thing else. Go ahead, bro.
From Second Baruch that goes into what we were just talking about, and I was just trying to pull the scripts on up.
If you got it, you can share your screen, and then we'll put it up. We'll put it up. We'll put it up, and then after we do that, I want the both of you brothers to read, because we're gonna start off the conversation by reading the book. We ain't even gotten to the conversation yet. But go ahead and bring the precepts, bro.
All right, I'm trying to pull it up in the behind the scenes right now.
Let's see. While we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and greet the founder coming. Hey, if y'all come in, if you say shalom, if I see it, I'll shalom you. Charles Bird, peace and blessings, shalom to you, brother. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Phantom Warrior, shalom. Peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well with you today, and the Father's been keeping you. Jimmy Gilliam, peace and blessings, brother. Hope all is well. Go ahead, bro, if you got it.
I'm just waiting on Adobe Acrobat in the background.
Oh, take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
I got you, though.
Take your time. On tablet, so can't type lots, but one love to all on the chat and panel. Amir, we got you, brother. We got you. And y'all do know that this is y'all house. And when we drop the link in, if you're so inclined, if the Father moves you to speak on just to speak, period, you're more than welcome to click on the link and speak your piece and speak your mind. That's what KC is all about anyway. It's a conversation, which is why I always put your comments up. I put your precepts up. But see, y'all be going so fast and blazing so tough. It's like, it's hard for the old head to keep up.
Hey, that's why I appreciate. Go ahead and let me go ahead and get caught up in the background. My PC want to be on slow mo right about now, anyway.
Yeah, that's the entities, man. They messing with you. They don't see the entities be knowing what they be doing, man. They don't be wanting certain information to get out. They don't be wanting brothers to get together and link up in unity. They don't want. They hate that. They hate that. The entities is the originaries of COINTELPRO. They worse than J. Edgar Hoover, man. They worse than him. We can't even see him, and we can't even see what they doing. But they be in the background, jiggling wires, doing all kind of ill manner things, making things not work. And the same thing it's been working for the last 5 years. Now all of a sudden it don't work. Come on now, stop it. We see y'all. We see y'all. We see y'all for what y'all truly is. And so whenever you ready to rock out, bro, right, go ahead and rock out. Let's see here. Phantom Warrior, we got you. Unapology, we got you. Jason Careful. Let's put up some of these comments. Sean, my good brother Sean, encourage you. Oh, this comment my brother always make, but it's a fitting comment. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Encouraging all nations to repent of our sins. That includes the nation of Israel first and foremost. Book say judgment starts where? At the house of who? The judgment start with you. Turn to the Father. Turn to the Most High Yah. Believe and have faith in Yeshua HaMashiach and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It's Genesis all the way to the Revelations and the books that the Catholics and those people wanted to take out so you couldn't get back to your information. See, it was a concerted effort to keep you pressed down and to keep you away. And I want to also say, shout out Africa Bound, peace and blessings to you. Shout out to all of my family that's in the Caribbean, that's in South America. The family that's in, sorry about that, Tone. The family that's in, like I said, South America. The family that's dispersed in Europe, London, the UK, Brussels, Belgium. The family that's still in Akibu land, that's still there, aka Africa. Our people dispersed, that's in Asia. Peace and blessings to all our family. This is not just about just the dispersing the snakes. No, we like to lift up and uphold all our family because we all one big happy family under Mashiach, under the Father. So go ahead. I see. I put the precepts up. Your screen is up. You see it?
Right. So this comes from 2 Baruch chapter 13. And then we're going to go over here to the verse 5. Actually, let's go ahead and go back to verse 3 for context. Context is always important. So whenever somebody wanted a scripture pick on you, like, no. Why was that even spoken? Go back a couple verses. Maybe even go back to the beginning of the chapter so that way you understand what's being said and why. So anyway, right here, verse 3, because you have been astonished at what has befallen Zion, you shall therefore be assuredly preserved to the consumption or the consummation of times, that you may be for a testimony. All right. So that if ever those prosperous cities say, who are those prosperous cities? We're talking about all those colonizers that have been on top for all these years. Every Gentile that's been on top for all these years. When life starts happening, or when the Most High starts happening, and he start taking things away and start punishing. All right. So that if ever those prosperous cities say, why has El Elohim brought upon us this retribution? Say unto them, you and those like you who shall have seen this evil. This is the evil and retribution which is coming upon you and upon your people in its destined time, that the nations may be thoroughly smitten. And then they shall be in anguish. When you say these things to them, they're going to be upset. Just know that if you was warned, you were supposed to say this, but knowing for sure that they're gonna be upset when they hear this. And if they say at that time, for how long? Like, how long is this gonna last? You will say to them, ye or you who have drunk the strained wine, the best of the best, drink ye also of its dregs, the pulp. All the pulp and the nasties that you threw away, that your flavor comes from, the throwaways. Now you must also drink of his dregs, the judgment of the lofty one who has no respect of persons. On this account, he had aforetime no mercy on his own sons, but afflicted them as his enemies because they sinned. All right, just because we sinned, he treated us like enemies. So what does he think he gonna do to y'all? Then, therefore, when they chastened, that they might be sanctified, or therefore were they chastened, that they might be sanctified. So we had to get whipped into shape. Then that's what all of our tribulation, everything has come to. That's why we've been in exile for all this time, to learn our lesson. For those of us that wake up in this time with this word to explain and to give back to the people to understand, we have come to a point of accountability. And that's one of the hardest parts to come to, family. All this having knowledge and everything else and scripture knowledge is great. That's beautiful. But if you do not have the accountability that comes with the understanding of the scripts, then you lacking a whooping or two. And the Most High is going to chasten you, therefore. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to bring it back around. There's a reason why the scriptures say don't go too far to the right, or don't go to the right nor to the left, but stay on the path. Stay on in the way. Stay in the way, doing what as the way says, not to the right hand, which is self-righteousness, and not to the left hand, which is rebellion. All right, but he sanctified us through our whoopings. But now, this is for them. But now, ye people and nations, ye are guilty, because ye have always trodden down the earth and used the creation unrighteously. For I've always benefited you, and you have always been ungrateful for the benefits. You've been ungrateful. And this is a part of what, Noah was saying when he came out of his drunken sleep, when he had cursed Canaan. He said, and Japheth shall be increased. All right. When you look into the Strongs about that, shout out to Dante Fortson for bringing this information on out and breaking the Strongs down with us. When you look into what Noah said about Japheth being increased, you're also going to see Japheth is going to be deceived. Okay, the seed of Japheth is going to be deceived to think that they are right for doing the things that they do. All right. So, and just like you said, and it's those nations that have always trodden down the earth, the heathen. So he says, for I've always benefited you, and ye have always been ungrateful for the benefits. And this is also why it's such a blessing to come in contact with Gentiles that have repented, that recognize the evil of their ancestors, and they don't want no parts of it. They've repented from it. They've called it out, confessed it to the Father, and they would like to cleave unto righteousness. This is also why we chuckle a little bit when we say the uncleavable. We're like, I don't care what you've understood. Like,
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, family. Y'all know I don't pull no punches. I love y'all, but I ain't got time to play with you. So
right.
I'm gonna laugh through some things, and I hope y'all laugh through it with me. But if it's not funny to you, look, I'm just trying to laugh through it because maybe I find a little bit of it funny. But it's ironic that those of us that have been trodden down our whole entire lives, when we wake up to being obedient, this is the thing that it takes to be able to. It's the humility that it takes to say, man, I hope you can get through it. Like, we had to go through it. Like, and if you don't make it through, well, that's between you and the Most High. But we had to go through it. We had to go through the fire. We had to go through the rod of chastisement to get to this point to say, look, no more beatings for me.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. We haven't even gotten to today's topic yet, but I'm gonna do it. Just I'm going precept on top of what you just brought, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And Tone, I want you to read these precepts, because if you're a liar and say, if somebody say the books don't connect up and link up back to what the books say, you a liar and the truth is not in you. And we're gonna prove that out just right fast right here. Right fast. Let me get my let me get myself set up. That's the one I want. We coming from Isaiah 51:23. Tone, if you could see him, go ahead and read them. I want you to read 21 and 23. Go ahead and read that, bro. I'm not even gonna get no commentary because Rolls done already gave the commentary. Go ahead and read that, bro.
Isaiah 51:21 through 23. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith thy Lord the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have saved to thy soul. Bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over.
See, now that's gonna prove to anybody that say, hey, don't read those books outside of the King James. Don't read what the heathen canonized. Go ahead and read only this right here. What Rawls brought was the same as what I'm seeing right here. Now, here's the question that I have, and I know y'all already know the answer. Who could have taken what we took as far as the punishment that we took? I don't think that there's any group of people that could have even withstood that. Put a 7 up if you believe that we the only people that could have withstood what we went through. And the book, somewhere in the book says, pour for her double. So you get to drink 2 of these big gulps that we just drank and that we've been going through since time immemorial. You get to get 2. You get to go to the bar and say, I want a shot. No. And he gonna say, no, you get 2 of these. You get 2 now because of all the stuff that you did to the apple of his eye. We seeing that. Y'all, I want everybody put a 7 up. You could not have gone through what we went through. You could not have gone through that. Name me one nation of people that could have went through what the Israelites went through. And you saying it right there. I see that. There go the answer right there. You're 7 because you're under grace. That's right. You're 7 because you're under grace. That's right. I mean, everybody better put a 7 up. If you sneak listen, I'm gonna put my 7 up late to the game. If you sneak listening and you understood what was said, you better put a 7 up. Because you know nobody is as strong as the Israelites. Nobody is as brilliant as the Israelites. We built this construct. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Let's keep it all the way 100 with the scriptures. Scripture's gonna show you we done been through too many captivities. The Most High called us a hard-headed or a stiff-necked, and peculiar people. This is why we're the only that can't get rights. We the ones that the hard heads, the for real hard heads. Like, why do you think there's so many hard heads in our nation? The Most High told us he didn't choose us because we was great. He didn't choose us because we were the best. Let's keep it all the way normal. Now, are we the best at what we do? I mean, he just showed like so much talent. You can't, undeniable talent from our nation, from our people. So yeah, it is that part. But we are such a peculiar people because we done been through so many captivities. So we got too much practice at being in jail, too much practice at being chastised and whooped for being hard-headed. So let's keep it real with the scripts on that one. Like, this is the accountability that I speak about, that we really have to come to grips with. You know what I'm saying? That there's things that the Most High is bringing to us. Like you was just saying something, you were bringing up something that we were talking about in the background about, oh my goodness, about you about to say it again. I don't know. It might escape me. It'll come back to me. But Sean's got a pretty good question down this way. So
we go ahead and get the question, and then we're gonna hit we'll hit the question, and then we'll let's see. Question: if the Gentiles can't be saved, who will be the handmaids and servants during the millennial reign of Yahuwah HaMashiach? It'll be them same gents. Because that's scripture right there. Somebody got to be around to do some work. Although I would like to think that I'm gonna be 1,200 years old and not retired. Right? So you go put that in your not you, Sean, but I'm just saying put that in your thought process. So here's what we're gonna do, fam. We're gonna jump on topic. So today's topic was Black unity. Now I wanted to get a rounded group, so I think I covered some age groups. If there's some young stars or females that want to come on, if you even younger than like 30, 35, this generation, this current generation, you can go ahead and jump on too. What I'm going to start off reading though is I'm going to start reading. We're going to start reading. I'm going to have the brothers read, both the brothers on read the precepts out of Ezekiel 37, because this is going to frame and set your mind to where we should be, right? And I may stop the brothers and give a little bit of commentary, but this is important reading this hour. We talk about Ezekiel 37. We talk about the dry bones all the time, but this is important. So here's what we're going to do. Brother Rawls, I want you to take the first 6 verses, and then I'm going to let Brother Tone, you take the next 6. So Brother Rawls, read verses 1 through 6 for me, please, starting with verse 1, and we're reading out of the book of Ezekiel 37.
Got you. Ezekiel 37. And the hand of Yahweh was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, or son of Adam, can these bones live? And I answered, Yahweh Elohim, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, talk to them, and say unto them, ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh.
Stop right there. He said again, and I like how you put that. He said, prophesy. He said, talk to these bones.
Talk to them.
And say, oh, you dry bones, hear the word of the Father. Now, he's prophesying to someone in the future. Ezekiel was way back here. We didn't see what our brother looked like. We don't know what he looked like. But he talking to somebody in the future. The Father told him, talk to my people in the future. Tell them what I want you to say to them. And keep reading. What did he say to them?
Let's make it contemporary. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were talking about earlier on. Like, now that I understand something, I'm gonna come to my brother on the block, right? And I'm gonna give him some dap. And I'm gonna say, yo, my nigga, my knucklehead. Now I'm gonna speak to you. Now I'm gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? He said, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Yahweh Elohim, thou knowest. And he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, talk to them, and say to them, ye dry bones. So when I walk up on my brother, yo, my nigga, my knucklehead, hear the word of the Most High. This is what the Most High done showed me. That's how we, yo, my nigga. The Most High showed me something. He showed me something in his word. Prophesy, talk to him. Thus saith Yahweh Elohim unto these bones. Hey, this is what the Most High is trying to say to you, my nigga. Behold, I will cause breath to enter you. Behold, He gonna wake you up in this time in which He done told us about a long time ago. He told us we the people, but we've been asleep all this time. Now he going. I'm breathing as we talking this. We are breathing life into our people's darkest places. We don't seem to realize that. And so when we bring scripture, history, knowledge, wisdom, and then this compassion, this love for the fact that I want to see my brother awake, I want to see him doing what the Most High calls him to do. This is what I'm breathing into his dry bones. All right. So thus saith Yahweh Elohim unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you. Behold, I'm gonna change your mission in life. I'm gonna show you the real mission in life, and ye shall live. I'm gonna extend your days that you shall live, so you can put in this work. And I will lay sinews upon you. I will lay muscles and tissues. I'm gonna put strength into you. I'm gonna bring flesh upon you. I'm gonna show you how to eat. I'm gonna show you how to unlearn this diet that you've been eating, and I'm gonna cause strength to come into your body. I'm gonna cause vitality to come into your body. I'm gonna cause like more stamina to come into your body. I'm gonna cause you to drop them cigarettes. I'm gonna cause you to drop that weed. I'm gonna cause you to drop that liquor. I'm gonna cause you to get exercise in your body. I'm gonna cause you to get right. All right. And you shall live. I will lay sinews upon you and bring flesh upon you and cover you with skin and put breath in you. And ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
All praise to the Father. All praise to the Most High. Brother Tone, I want you to pick up on 7 and read from 7 all the way down to 12, if you would, please, brother.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Starting at verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, and an exceeding great army. Continue.
Yes, continue, please.
Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Yasharallah.
Now, what we just did was we just framed the dry bones for everyone, because that's going to be the starting point where we talk about Black unity and what that means. But Ezekiel 37 is a powerful part of the book, because he was talking to somebody. He was talking to somebody in the future that's walking on the earth right now. Put a 3 up if you know he was talking to you. Like the brother said, make it personal. Can you make these precepts personal? Was he talking to you? Was he talking to you so that you could take this information and go share it with your family members? Like the brother said, go share it with that knucklehead that you know that's on the street. Hey, Ak, look at this. This is what the book say. He talked about us right here, right now. But I want to see everybody put a 3 up. Go ahead, bro. Speak that.
Yeah. So this is exactly what, I beg the Most High to give me a fire in my bones to do. And that's be able to make use of this so-called useless information that I've been such a wealth of, from sitting on punishment so many times over the years and ain't got nothing else to do besides read. And so being this wealth of useless information, and especially when it comes to something of good use. Like one of the things we even got taught back in the day, or even got told back in the day, was if you want to hide something from a brother, you know what I'm saying, put it in the book and never find it. So it's like, go back to my people and I tell them that, like, look, they over here making fun of us that we won't even entertain what's between pages, or you know, back then it was bro, you know what I'm saying, or my G, or my nigga, or whatever, you know. It's like they trying to tell us that we won't even look between the sheets, you know what I'm saying, to find where the real love is at, you know, that real information, that real power, you know what I'm saying. Like, so bringing this stuff to a contemporary time, and so to make it modern for y'all, that's a humbling experience to be able to do this. Like the topic is unity, Black unity or Hebrew unity. What does it look like? So what does it look like today? It's really one of the mantras that we talk about is healing our households and healing our hoods. So once again, loving each other through what we don't understand. This, and it's the hardest part about what we're called to do by loving the fatherless, the widow, the poor, loving our neighbors as we love ourselves, loving our parents, honoring our parents, you know what I'm saying? But to be able to have the patience to be like, when a person disagrees with you, you know what I'm saying? That part, that's the hardest part to really get through, is rejection, especially when what you have for that person, they may not understand it because of their interests, what they're so gravitated and so sold out for. And you can run that in a couple different ways. Sold as an SOUL apostrophe D out, sold out. Their soul is attached, their soul is a slave to. Once you start realizing these things, you know, when you start having these conversations, especially if you have been through Ephesians and we talk about this spiritual armor, or we talk about that we war not against flesh and blood. So my enemy is not the brother that I see when I give him dap. My enemy is not my sister that is wearing skimpy clothes. My enemy is actually that I'm at war with their thought process. I'm at war with their ideas. I'm at war with the things that make them function, because I see that has them in dysfunction. That's my real enemy. My real enemy is how you think and how you process life that has you in such a bad predicament. That's my real enemy. It's not you. I love you. And for me to really truly show to the Most High that I love him and that I love his word, I got to bring it to you in a way in which you can hopefully understand, to get you to change your ways, change the way you think, change the way you operate, change the way you function, so you can see the brighter things in life. Show you the benefits of being a bright side thinker. I know there's hell all around us, but I'm trying to show you how to be a bright side thinker. I'm trying to teach you how to fish, my nigga. So that way you can feed yourself and feed your family and feed the next one to come across you. And that's my responsibility. So, but what does it look like? It's patience. Patience to love a brother or sister through what they don't understand. To love a sister out of the strip club because they see that it gives them so much money, but they don't see that it's tearing down their true beauty, their modesty. It's destroying their true image, the image of the Most High Yah that the Father made you in. When he made Adam in his image, and then he made the sister from the image of Adam. So we are still both in the image of the Most High. The devil hates that. And he wants you to not be in the image of the Most High. So that's something that you can take back to a sister that's out here running wild in the street. The image of the Most High, you were already created in, and the devil's trying to take you out of that image. You are not in the Father's image. Your natural image is beautiful. The natural image of the Most High gave you your natural beautiful curls that a pick has trouble getting through. So what? The Most High made you beautiful. That image is beautiful. and the devil taking you out that image, and he got you misusing that image, the image of who you are, and your true talents, and your knowledge and your wisdom. Same thing with the young brothers out here. This word still applies to them. The Most High made you in His image. His image was not put here to destroy itself. It was here to build.
Let's make it clear. Let's make it clear.
Go
The
ahead.
image is not stained glass.
Right.
The image is not that hippie aeronautic and Greek god. That's not the image.
Oh no. The show ain't. Go ahead, Art.
No, I was gonna say, Brother Tone, and family in the chat. No, there's a bunch of family that came on. And I like to shalom everybody. Shalom, Yeshan, Shaw 22. Shalom to you, Linya, Huda, Hamashiach, I'll say it that way. Shalom to you, peace and blessings, my good brother Najee. Shalom, brother. Peace and blessings to you. You know the link. You already know the drill. This is your house, the house that we built. Go ahead and jump on. Brother Yash, peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well, brother. Hope the Father's keeping you. This is a good point here that Yah Cube 12 Yehuda states, the first 4 of the 10 of LSC is how we love the Most High, and the last 6 of LSC is how we love one another. That's a great point. Pam Yah Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom to you. Peace and blessings to you. Now, brother Tone, I want to go back to the question, and I want to ask you that question. Let me get my comments set. And the question is, as the dry bones have raised up, what should our unity look like? So in your mind, Tone, what do you think our unity should actually look like?
It's really exactly what Brother Ross was saying, because like for me personally, where I'm at is that I realize like it's some stuff when I'm studying and I'm seeing this the name that I see that this the name of the Most High, this the name of His Son, or this my stance on Gentiles, or you got people who ain't even woke. They struggling with Christianity. You talk to them, but they can't get down with the fact that they Israelites. You got Israelites who like, hey, you don't agree with me on this, then you're not a brother. And from my perspective, I'm saying, let me take a step back and find a way to love those who I'm related to according to the flesh, and let the Most High sort us out. You know what I'm saying, as far as who the elect is. But I see a lot of commands to love one another straight from Yahweh Shai's mouth, and I'm saying to myself, hey, let me love my family, because this like the thing we struggle with the most. You know what I'm saying? We struggle to love each other. We always find a way to hate each other and to kill each other. So I've been seeing fruit moving on the contrary to that. Even when brothers see the way I live as a way to clown on me or whatever, because they know I'm walking in the law, statutes, and commands. They know I'm living a different lifestyle. I'm not in the streets. I'm not talking a certain way. I'm not walking a certain way. Of course, I still am who I am, but they can tell it's a difference. So I'm not letting that get to me, and I'm loving through all of that, and I'm seeing fruit from that, to be honest. But I think it's like you said, I don't think we're gonna see a full fruition of it until we get to that point where the Most High is raising us up out of the grave and gathering all Israel together.
Yeah, now you brothers keep touching on that the love thing, and that's what's missing. I want to go to a comment that before we talk about this comment, because you guys have touched upon it. I want to go to another comment, and I started. So y'all give me a minute to get this figured out. This person says this, and Yashan, I'm going to assume that you are a Akiyim or an Ak. So if you're not, please forgive me. Okay, so I want you brothers to read this comment, and then I want you to comment on this comment. We read that and speak it, but it's not done as it should be in our communities. We are still in dysfunction, still hard-headed, and lack humility. What you brothers say to that?
I agree. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So I know that the way in which we talk about this love thing, like it can be a hard thing to explain, and that's why it was kind of taking me a hot little second, because like now that I've been pretty much so far removed up out the hood, it don't mean that I ain't got no love in the hood. I still I can walk through the hood and be just fine, and I know how to greet my people when I see my people. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the love part comes in, knowing what kind of language to speak with your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you relate with them? You know what I'm saying? So if you can't dialogue with certain people, then obviously you're not going to be dialoguing with them. But it does come down to, you know, how you can greet your brother on the block, like, and explain to him, you know what I'm saying, this is what the Most High done showed me. Like, or you know how back in the day when we was kids or something like that, like you might even ask your friend, like, hey, you believe in God? You know what I'm saying? There's a certain innocence, you know what I'm saying, that no matter how hard-headed the next brother or sister is, there's a certain level of innocence that we all still have. And I pray the Most High, you know, shows you that portion of innocence. That's where you really trying to reach to, because there's a reason why the parable talks about, you know, sowing seed on rocks, sowing seed in the thorns and thistles, sowing seed on sand. These are different types of people. These are different mentalities. You got your hard head, your hot head, and those that just want to be famous in the world. And so, there's these different personalities are the ones that you either want to steer clear from, because you know that you only got a certain amount of seeds, only a certain kind of people really going to hear you. And you can tell that there might be a brother or sister that's just surrounded by bad people. They're surrounded by the thorns and thistles of people trying to hype them up just to sell themselves out. And all they really needed is relocated. All they really needed is a way out of that distraction. You know what I'm saying? So trying to lure them out, giving them a conversation, having conversation with them. You know, that's another topic, but you know, that's how we really truly are fishermen of men. And that's what Yahushua was trying to teach his disciples on how to be a fisherman of men through your conversation and through teaching us game. You know what I'm saying? It's not really game, so don't get it twisted by the usage of the word, but essentially that's really what it is. Giving us game, giving us conversation that we can talk, attract a brother or sister with, like, yo, you know, do you believe in God, or do you believe in the Most High, or you know what I'm saying, or let me show you what the Most High showed me. Whichever way it is, the Most High teach you to approach with. And this is the other thing that Yahushua was trying to convey towards us, saying, don't worry about what to say in that day. You know, and it wasn't just about being on trial. You know, when you in the presence of your peers, you already on trial to a certain degree. And some people know it, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? But you already on trial. So anything and everything that come out your mouth is up for scrutiny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
if they really care about you and they love you, they will do that. But
right.
see, going back to points that both of you brothers have made earlier, we're not, but we're getting better though. And I've gotten better. I've grown to whereas I'm not offended by everything the heathen says or even the Christian says or somebody that's not a part of the culture. Reason why I'm not offended because I'm not really caring about their opinion on who I am and who I am not. And so there has to be a growth thing when you come into the truth is one thing, but you have to grow to get beyond wanting to cave somebody head in, even though they're in what I mean by caving their head in, a lot of times caving their head in with the book. That's what I mean by that. Because
Right.
I'm not going physically get physical with anybody. Number one, I'm too old, and number two, I probably wouldn't do that. I'll probably take the quick way out, if you know what I mean. Tone spoke about the quick way out, so we're not even gonna get into that. But Tone, I want you to address this comment from your perspective. In the comment from Yashan is very appropriate. But I am seeing growth within the family. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, I think so. For me, even being in the truth, I still have, and have had, the stiff neck mentality and approach, lack of humility, been egotistical, and it's in everyday situations where I feel like another Israelite is quote unquote testing me, or you know what I'm saying, like just because of the way I was raised. Also, like I haven't um I haven't fully matured out of being raised by um an undisciplined single mother. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like, and that's the issue with a lot of dudes that come from the same type of background, like being in the streets. You had undisciplined single mother, so you a hothead. Everything is offensive. You always got to make sure they know you a man by uh, um, violence. But uh, what I've been able to mature in thus far is showing brothers who come from that background that that's not manhood, and talking about scripture on a practical level. You know what I'm saying? Saying like, look, how Shai didn't respond this way to how they was talking to him, and the prophets didn't respond this way. And sometimes it come across as preachy, but it's a build up to it. Like you've had multiple conversations, and to be honest, you might have even had a few blow ups that led to these conversations about the prophets. Like prime example, I had a guy that was disrespecting me, saying some stuff I ain't like, and I kind of blew up on him and was ready to go there for a minute. My mind just checked out. I saw red, and we got into a big argument, and I ended up apologizing to him for it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this ain't what I'm called to do. This ain't, and this is stuff I'm saying to him. Like, this ain't my mission in life. I don't want to be disrespecting you. I actually want to be doing the opposite. I want to be honoring you. I want to be pouring life into you. And from that blow up and that apology, which a lot of apologies don't really happen in our neighborhoods, we were able to continue to build a relationship. And now I'm able to have that conversation and say, do you know the Most High? Do you understand how we're supposed to carry ourselves as men, as fathers, as brothers? And it don't all it's different situations, but yeah, I think the practical side of loving somebody is when you're offended. When you're offended and you saying, I'm not gonna respond, uh for lack of a better word, I can't find a better word than to say, I'm not gonna respond like a nigga right now. I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna respond in a way that's fruitful.
Yeah, because if you do that, you'll wind up flipping the paradigm on its head, which is Israelites are great for doing that, but then you'll wind up gaining a brother, because that same brother that you blew up on because you did go back and apologize, he probably like flipped out, he turned him on his head, like he probably looking at you like, wait a minute, this is how the book say you're supposed to do. You know, if you got an alt with your brother, you go to that brother, and then you discuss with him, y'all squash it. And see, this right here, that part right there, Tone, is what kills a lot of Israelites building together. I know I'm jumping the gun, but that right there, because if you have a blow up or argument with a brother, then y'all be like, well, middle finger that brother without even saying it. Middle finger to you, bro. I'm done with you. I'm not effing with you for the rest of your life. Get the out of here, like that, right?
Seen it.
But see, we as the light have to be an example. Now, when it say be a light unto the world, you need to be a light to your people first. First and foremost, that's who you need to be a light to. Because if all our light is dim as a whole, you look at the Israelites, the dry bones. If your light is dim as a whole, you're not gonna be no earthly good to the rest of the earth. Point blank. Period. I'm gonna greet the rest of some of the family that came in, and then we gonna hit upon some more of these questions. I start y'all, and I saw y'all come in. Pam, y'all Israel, peace and blessings. Hope you're well. Pamela J, peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope you are well. I believe I got everybody. If I missed you, you know what it is. Charge it to my head and not my heart. So now I'm going to put another question up. And this next question is, because we framed it about unity. And the dry bones coming together is that unity, if you want to look at it that way or not. It's us coming together. But then the question becomes, okay, if we're talking about Black unity, we talked about love, and that's first and foremost the most important thing, love. Why is that important, brother? See, it's important because we can love the heathen. And I always speak about this. You can love the heathen on your job or your next door neighbor and love them, and you're smiling from ear to ear. You can see 1,000 teeth and you only got 28 of them because you had your 4 wisdom teeth pulled out. And you love them so, but then when you see your own brother and sister, you put your head down and you look away. So now this next question is kind of into that. So now the question that I have, if we're talking about unity, who can we unify with? And I'm gonna ask the chat that. First, I'm gonna ask the chat family. The question is, who can we unify with? And I'm gonna put that question in the chat, and I'm gonna put it up on top of the screen. Hopefully, I put it in the right place. Let me scroll down because y'all blazing. Y'all be going so fast. So the question now, fam, is who can we unify with? Brother Tone, I'm asking you that question. Who can we unify with?
As of now, for
Yes, sir.
me, and I can't speak for everybody. I'm just explaining the way I've been doing it. I've been unifying with like-minded brews and accepting the charity of anybody that's willing to further this mission. But some people don't go past a certain level with me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not part of the family. But yeah, I've been trying to lock in with like-minded brews, and even if we differ on some issues, learning from as many of the elders as I can learn from. So I've been trying to unify, like I said, with like-minded brews. Sometimes it's difficult, and I think it's supposed to be because we have standards. Unlike many people, a lot of people don't have standards. The wicked typically will join with anybody that's wicked. And I think that the righteous, we have standards. So that's why it's going to be a little more difficult. But yeah, I'm always trying to work with like-minded brews, like I said.
Brother Rawls, what say you, brother?
All right.
Who you think we can unify with? Go ahead from your perspective.
Well, with the last kingdom, well, I can't say the last kingdom build that we did. The one before that with Brother Artrey Arquette, shout out to him and his family. We've been discussing we did discuss something that's been heavy on my heart for a minute, and that's even building with, well, like Tone said, like-minded brews. But I guess the best way to answer that is I'm down to build with the like-minded brews or even camp brothers and sisters that we have the utmost important things in common within the kingdom, being kingdom-minded. All right. So first and foremost is we need to assess who are kingdom-minded individuals or even kingdom-minded groups. Now, the rest of everything else, where we may differ doctrinally or whatever else, we need to iron those things out behind the scenes and stop making spectacles out of ourselves. But other than that, it's really assessing what do we bring to the kingdom? What are we trying to bring to the kingdom? What are the talents that the Most High gave us to be kingdom citizens in the first place? You know, these are things that really need to be, assessed and discussed. Even starting with inside your own home. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I tell brothers and sisters that all the time, even when as it pertains to even getting out of Babylon before the second Exodus or not. You need to really truly first assess, what do you even bring to the table as a kingdom household, kingdom-minded household? What service do you provide, or are you willing to provide to be there for your people? Because in Second Baruch, I can go back into that. And now it would take me a minute to find that scripture, but it shall come to pass that there's going to be a time, and I'm going to paraphrase this portion, that we're going to put in work for one another and not even be tired. So are you that kind of kingdom-minded family or household? Are you even that way? Or do you love your people that much? You know what I'm saying? To where you know that when we go home and we're going to have to put in work to make the luxuries or the amenities of what we really want to have, and that we know that our people back home should have as well. Some of the amenities that we've got a chance to have here that seem luxurious or that seem well off, we're going to have to put in that work back home. Are you down to put in that kind of work? Are you down to rebuild the waste places? You know what I'm saying? So we really need to, when it comes to who are we going to unify with, yes, like-minded brews is a good, I salute that, absolutely. But what's even more deeper than that is going to have to be like, who's really down to do the work? Or are they putting on a show? Are they really a kingdom-minded individual? Can you really build with everybody? So test the waters. You're gonna have to have these conversations. Go ahead,
Can I add to that? So, like in that dynamic, you got brews who I feel like are kingdom minded, that won't agree with you, right? They'll say, you say Yahoshua instead of Yahweh, so we don't rock with you. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say they ain't kingdom minded. They just rock with who they rock with type situation. And it's a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that. So when I say like minded, I'm also saying like those who will also accept me as well.
Right. So those things right there, the name and all that, those are smaller issues. The Most High take care of those issues, through Bible study and, going into the linguistics. If we really going to nerd out, if we're really meant to study with each other like that, we can iron those things out. Those are small things. The bigger task is, coming back to the covenant of the Most High, as far as like taking care of the widow and the orphan and our brothers and sisters, making sure it's within our hearts to make sure that the next person is just as well off, or all these other, we have so many other bigger things that we really need to address. And even just getting past whether it's educating our brothers and sisters about who they are and what that comes with. There's a lot that comes with being Israelite, or having that blood in you. And we don't understand these curses. We don't understand that these curses have been placed upon us because of disobedience to the Father. We don't understand that these are generational curses that cleave onto us because of our disobedient ways, the things in life that we choose. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that we gotta start with, as far as like building, with some peoples, and how we're going to get there. We got to have these kinds of conversations. We got to unify over what is the most important things in order to be a kingdom, to come back into being a nation, a powerful nation again, or the powerful nation that has been prophesied that we shall be. We shall rule the earth. How we going to do that? How we going to be up next? Oh man, speaking of that, shout out to Akwan, man. From I got a chance to meet this Ak over on IG, and he's got a couple tracks with Kwadam Rakar, and this track that he got called Out of Order. Y'all need to check that out, because the way he talks about it, he starts to track off with that. He said, how we gonna end up next if we can't keep the laws of the Most High? We got the nerve to be asking for his heads. You know what I'm saying? We be asking.
If you got the link, put the link up. Pardon me.
Yeah.
If you have the link, put it in there. We'll put it up.
I can let me see here.
Get the brother's link and
Yeah,
put it up.
as a matter of fact, here, because I saved the album. This is also what you're gonna find on Red Letter Rap. You know what I'm saying? These albums, and everything when you go into the playlist section. So let's see here.
Yeah, and I do want to make a comment to you, Tone, on the comment that you made about the name thing. Two things to that. Well, the one important thing is that when brothers do that, there's a growth that needs to take place with that individual, because quiet is kept. It's all hands on deck. And if somebody's saying, "Hey, you know what? I can't rock out with you because you use this name or that name," well, somewhere in the book say Mashiach got a name written on his thigh, a new name that only he know. So
Right. And you know, for me, I think that's wild. You know what I'm saying? But you like it's certain things that people like they willing to like. That's where they draw the line. Like I just use the name as an example. You also got stuff like the 12 tribes chart. Yeah, like because like it's brothers that I like. Man, I rock with every part of your teaching except that 12 tribes chart. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, that brother be like, I can't rock with Tone. He a devil. He don't listen to the 12 tribes chart. So it's like, it's one of them type situations.
Yeah. and so what needs to happen is there needs to be growth. I could rock out with brothers that do the 12 tribes chart. I can. I have rocked out with brother. I mean, Sakari and them. I'm in. Y'all know I'm in SoCal. But Sakari and them, I could go to camp with Sakari right now, stand guard. I'll be in line, standing guard. Shalom and the brothers saying, "What's up? What's happening? What's up? What is it?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not hung up, even though their brothers prescribe to it. I don't, but that's not a reason for me to separate. Now, if they want to separate, and they have not done that, they have not separated, because I see them brothers and shalom them, and it's all good money, because we know that we Israel. Now, can I build with them same brothers? If they say to me, okay, you know what, because you don't prescribe to the 12 tribes, and they've never done that to me, but because you don't prescribe to that, we can't rock out with you. No, because we have an understanding that, hey, you know, we was brothers before, and we gonna be brothers after the fact, and we always gonna be brothers. And quiet is kept. We all got our own lane. That's not my lane. We was out on the streets. That's, as a matter of fact, that's how we met Sakari. Now we was out on the streets, and they came up, and we was having an open discussion about different topics. And so we said, okay, well, let's do it the right way. Let's sit down and let's bring the topics to the table, and we'll discuss them. And we did that, and we wind up being brothers. To this day, I can pick up the phone and holler at them brothers. Me and the next brother was talking about going to camp, probably this weekend or not this weekend, but the following weekend. And so there has to be growth that comes into a person's mind, where they say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to let these doctrinal disagreements come between me and another brother building something, because the Christians don't do that. I guarantee you, this is day one, and they having they festivals and they meetings right now to this moment. And guess what? One of them done said, you know what? About 5 of them today done said, you know what? I don't believe what Jim says about the book, so I'm going to go and start my own church. Meanwhile, they still in agreement, because they're in agreement doctrinally with that Christianity foolishness.
Right.
They got 50,000 different denominations and 2.2 billion adherents, and each one of the 2.2 billion got a different understanding, and yet they still a whole homogenous group. And yet you'll still go give your 30%, your 10% to this wicked entity that's saying, give me your money. So I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear you 1,000%. But see, you grown. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm glad you're saying what you're saying, because see, when I first came into my awakening, I would always run into brews that had nothing good to say about camps, like nothing good. But I'm the type of person I want to hear and see for myself. So when I got around to it, I started learning about what each camp teaches, the history of these camps, what they doing, you know what I'm saying, how they conduct themselves. And I'm like, man, this ain't really what all I was told. And I felt like a lot of it was demonized from more of a Christian perspective. Not saying all of it is wrong. I'm just saying uh, the camps don't necessarily make me feel like, man, these ain't my brothers. When I run into camps, even if I don't agree with some of the stuff they're saying, I still know that these is my brothers. Um, and like you said, you can just pull up to a Sakari and camp and just go camp with them. I know some of the camps wouldn't allow, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't allow that if we're not part of their camp. But um, I guess what I'm saying is it comes from both ends of the spectrum. Like you got us in the awakening that's saying, I ain't messing with them camps. You got those in the camp saying, I ain't messing with them newly awakened. I even heard them call us Yah. Yeah, they say Yah Hebrews. Them Yah Hebrews. I ain't messing with them Yah Hebrews. So I'm like, dang, like, yeah, I'm like, dang, like, this y'all a little wild, but you know, that's why I say, from my perspective, I'm gonna get down with who I can, you know what I'm saying, who's like-minded enough where we can get down together and just let the brothers pass whatever disagreement we may have.
Indeed,
without trying to make a spectacle out of it.
Yeah, okay, that's you. Okay, you touching on that. We're gonna get back to making a spectacle because there should be a way that you operate this hour. Now, I'm not talking about past hour. I'm talking about today moving forward. And I'm not talking about you, Tone. I'm talking about us as a nation. See, when I'm thinking about us as a nation. I'm not thinking about Brother C as an individual. My thought is always towards the kingdom and this nation of people that have come together. Brother Ross, go ahead and bring that music. Drop the brother's link in there so we can see what's up with this, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So let me go ahead and go back to here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this link. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just do it like this.
And fam, y'all go ahead. Whether
you will be able to copy and paste that and put that on there. All right,
so dropped it in private. I got you.
I dropped it in private. That way you can drop it on over.
Got you. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. And fam, what y'all need to do, but I apologize for interrupting you, bro. What needs to happen is we need to go ahead and listen to this brother music and support this brother.
Yeah, this album is fire. I mean, double. Oh man, wait till you hear these tracks, man. I'm telling you, like the brother's on point. And if you check him out on IG, man, he be reading the word and going in and trying to have open discussions and things. So, you know, this is why I promote listening to this kind of music, man, because you need to look a little deeper than just the beat. If you just vibing to the beat and that's all you came for, then you ain't doing it right. I'm sorry. You gotta listen to the content. How you gonna judge a tree by its fruit? The fruit is in the content.
You know what's funny? I had Tone, you broke down that one Christian rapper rap song, and he's a Christian rapper, but he came from a perspective of you almost thought he was an Israelite. I don't even remember the cut, but that song was fire, man, and it was from a Christian brother, and I believe he was talking about the Rev 2 and 9, 3 and 9 people, the 1948s. He's coming at the 1948s. Go ahead, let's talk about that, man, right quick.
Yeah, it's the brother Bizzle, who actually had a brew in his camp at one point. To some degree, the brother from Buffalo, his name is escaping me at the moment. Zadok. Zadok in Israel was did a lot of work with Bizzle. So Bizzle been exposed to the Hog Mob, though. Yeah, exactly. Because he part of Hog Mob and Seven's group, and Seven was signed to Bizzle at one point. But Bizzle is probably, you know, he's probably one of the top, if not the top, probably 2 or 3 as far as top Christian rap labels. So he got a big influence. And when he dropped that record, it was just good to see it because it's like he absorbing the truth, and it's in a place where, you know, even the top quote unquote Christians can't deny it.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, this is a Christian. I'm like, because I can't find y'all in the book nowhere. But this is how you youngsters say this fire right here. I'm over here, get off my lawn. Get off my line. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put some of the quotes from the fam in there that answered the question that we asked. So these are some of the quotes from the fam. The reason why I put their quotes up, because a lot of the good action and good activity happens. So my sister said each one of us, this is who we should be building with to answer the question. Each one of us. And then the other quote from Phantom Warrior says the lost sheep. So we should be building with the lost sheep. Africa Bound says we all we got. Now, when I'm framing this, and we're going to look at some video in a second. When we framing this, we talk about the whole diaspora, not just those here in the Snakes, although we should be building up infrastructures and empires. And Rose, you touched upon that because I mention that all the time, but I'm not going to go there. We are all we got. That's why it shouldn't be a doctrinal thing for you to say, okay, if Tone come to Brother C and say, hey, Brother C, I got this idea. We can rock this out. We only need A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Well, we got to put the pieces together, and then we go get that. That's kingdom building right there, because you building something not for just your Brother C, not for Tone. This is for our people.
Facts.
Point blank, period. We are all we got. And see here, the beautiful thing about that Africa Bound is we don't need nobody else. There's enough brilliance in the chat and on this panel right now to take over whole industries. Y'all don't even believe that. I just said something. Brother C, you out of your rabbit ass mind. I just said something that makes no sense. I'll say it again. There's enough intelligence and creative capital in the chat and on the panel to take over whole industries on the earth right now, if we want to. Y'all didn't hear me. I'm talking to myself right now. Let me keep reading what the fam's saying in the chat. Nature's convenient. Matthew 12:30. He that is not with me is against me. He that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. All praise to the Father for that precept. I'm going to put these precepts up. I'm going to start some of them. I'm not going to read them all. Luke 11:23. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. We have to believe we read that one. Philippians 2:2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded. We should be operating like-minded. How do you get like-minded? What's that mind that you should have? Christians say they got a name Christian, but nothing that you're doing is like Mashiach. I can't find you in the book nowhere. That book is not for you, especially white evangelical. Put it down. It's not for you. You should have never had it in the first place. Pam Yah Israel said, with awakened Israelites. Let's see, MC Peculiar says, Ephesians 4:3, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. It's what you should be coming in. When these two brothers right here approach one of their brothers that's in the streets, that's for the streets, they coming in the bond of peace. Saying, brother, look at here, brother. I got a peace offering for you. You need to get back to this culture. Look at what this book say about us being a people.
Right.
Tell me what it says. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Tell me what it says.
Oh yeah, like bringing them back into the covenant, bringing them back into the understanding of who we once were and why we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even bringing out things like this is what they don't want you to know. You know, I take them to Psalm 83, you know, like that. They don't want you to be a nation ever again. Why do you think they want you to be homosexual? Why do you think they, you know what I'm saying? That's the first and foremost thing that they do is they attack us men and try to put you in a dress to where you can't procreate, where you can't make more kings and princes, where you can't make more queens even. You know what I'm saying? You know, they want to put you in a dress and take you and keep you out the house. Keep you away from being the head of your home, the king of your castle. But how are you to be a king of your castle if you have no understanding, if you have no reasoning, if you have no understanding of the reasons of things? And this is why, I want to get to this track that's out of order right quick, man.
Go ahead, man. You want me to put it up?
Please, thank you.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
I wanted to read this passage from the Apostle James, in conjunction with something the Apostle Paul said in Romans, where he talked about not all Israel is Israel, and I believe he was getting at the fact that, you know, it's a lot of Israelites that they never going to unify. They're never going to unify. They're going to stand against what you pushing, even if you come in peace. And I think we see that in his epistles. But I always took heart in the last two verses of James, chapter 5, verse 19 and 20. He says, "Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which converts the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death and shall hide a multitude of sins." And I always took that to heart, even when I was in the false doctrines of Christianity. I always saw it as, there's a hope, but I see it even I'm more passionate about it even more. So even when I run into a brother who I think is like staunchly against the truth, I'm saying to myself, this brother can be won to the truth as well. So that's part of my motivation. I just wanted to throw that in there.
All praise.
That's a good word. All praise to the Father. That's an awesome word, because you're able to do that. A lot of that it takes growth to be able to do that, though. And you've grown in a very, very compressed time. The Father's dealing with you on another level, and that's awesome. Brother Rawls, go ahead and drop that you wanted to drop concerning this track, bro.
Look, it's all about respect. If we can't keep the laws of the Most High, how we gonna end up next? We be asking for his heads, but we ain't even lie what the Most High say. And sister be praying, but they ain't even really trying to cover their head. We all out of order, wretched, and gang still throwing us sex. We killing each other with paper that's green with a heat in my head. Slaves to the system, and we ain't even trying to liberate ourselves. The Bible got the plan, but we always trying to shy away from me. Yeah, we all out of order.
Yeah, we all out of order. We don't want nobody to tell us nothing stiff neck, so we doing what we want to. Giving in to the world, trying to do the wrong thing, but you don't fit, sticking out like a false tooth. So you trying to make it, so you gotta make your boss moves, but you don't realize what it's about to cost you. Trying to be something that you ain't, but that ain't you. You know it ain't right, like you weren't too left shoe. But you got something to prove in your city, throwing up your set to prove that you with it. Land with a lot of women that say that you hit it, but you really show the Lord you're richer than you weak. But you got time to change how you live. Turn from your ways and choose to keep sinning. The ball in your court, what you gonna do with it? You can shoot your shot or choose to stop drilling.
It's all about respect. If we can't keep the laws of the Most High, how we gonna end up next? We be asking for his heads, but we ain't even lie what the Most High say. And sister be praying, but they ain't even trying to cover their head. We all out of order, wretched, and they ain't still throwing us sex. We killing each other with paper that's green with a heat in my head. Slaves to the system, and we ain't even trying to liberate ourselves. The Bible got the plan, but we always trying to shy away from me. Yeah, we all out of order.
Too many brothers out here crippled, they bloody and trying to make each other suffer over gang and the color, and that's it. We can't even talk to each other, it's like we talk with a stutter. We rather run to the trouble, and that's it. So because I told you repent from sin, I'm coming off just a little too drastic. You're loving wickedness, but I'm a little fanatic. Yeah, the devil fed like lightning, but I'm bringing the static, and that's that. Between Yasharala and the Gentiles, here's the clear distinction. We were chosen above the other nations, and why they try to send us into extinction. But we war not against the flesh, we war against evil spirits and these demons. Gotta be ready to rebuke it, even if it is the man in the mirror, and I really mean it. We no longer quiet cause they kill us through our dying in science. That when we riot, they reacting with more violence. Stop. Many people gonna be screaming and pleading, begging your shot to forgive me just before the judgment drops. So renew your hearts, renew your thoughts, forget what you was taught and lock your jaw. Fam, pick up your cross and keep the law because.
Look, it's all about respect. If we can't keep the laws of the Most High, how we gonna end up next? We be asking for his heads, but we ain't even lie what the Most High say. And sister be praying, but they ain't even trying to cover their head. We all out of order, wretched, and they ain't still throwing us sex. We killing each other with paper that's green with a heat in my head. Slaves to the system, but we ain't even trying to.
Let me show y'all how we out of order, you know what I'm talking about?
Got the plan, but we always trying to shy away from me. Yeah, we all out of order. Yeah, black flag, blue flag, red flag, yellow flag, all the flags. Toe tag, homicide, genocide, sin and bring it all of that. Strip club, gay club, nightclub, wickedness and all of that. Can't even get the truth in the church, cause they all trying to take a bag and that's fact. Yeah, sister be a hair up and just for the fashion, they ain't praying like that. Yeah, saying man is a hot girl, so a real top of where the mother girls at. Yeah. They wanna keep a meal on the table, know how to keep their house intact. Yeah. They don't do it for the gram, they don't do it for the book, they don't do it for the praise, they don't do it for the look, they don't do it for the he say, she say, we say, whirl in the circle, yeah, we call it a relay. Drama field junkies, yeah, we call it a DJ. Put it on wax, Mr. Miyagi, body full of tats, hand full of tracks, chest in their back tied Silicon Valley. Pronoun bills, man, they do so tech and get hacked like computer screens. Don't see Eric get whacked with artillery, and the demon get subjects for tempting me. Yeah, your shy, you gon' share it the temple me, and the go from sheep is gonna be worse than the talent, man. If you think I'm playing, you just keep on playing. You better repent. We out of order, you better repent. We out of order, you better repent. We out of order, you better repent. You better repent, you better repent.
All praise to the Father for that music. I really appreciate that. And like my sister said, Auxeria Phillips, I'm an old head, but we need to be sharing that with the teenagers and the young stars who have a real appreciation. I have a real appreciation for good beats and good music because it's not just about the beat. It's really about the intent of the person's heart and what spirit that they coming in.
Right.
And so the spirit that I'm hearing in that is you need to repent, but then you need to be LSC.
Facts. You see, I even like what Ox said, Phantom Warriors, and some of us old heads need the lyrics. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
get off my line.
But it is about the lyrical content.
So
that's the whole. That's how even that I even got started in doing any of this was about trying to show our brothers and sisters the lyrical content and paying attention to that over just the beat. That's how it's always been. It's always about the lyrical content. It's a message. Are you hearing the message, or are you just vibing to the beat? Because if you're just vibing to the beat, you may be a zombie. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
And I just got to call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? If that's all you can do, that's the extent of your discernment, is to just vibe to the beat, that you may be a zombie, and what I'm saying may not be for you. So it's like Yahweh Shah said, for those who have ears to hear, let them hear, let them have understanding. You know what I'm saying? If you can't hear and understand, I know it may take a little hot second. Some of us he said, "Get off my lawn."
but I was listen. I'm an old head, and one thing that I really have a heart for, and that's music. I love music because I know what music does to me on an individual level. Music can move me and move my emotions and move me like chess pieces, right? I'm listening to that song, I'm bopping, and I'm hearing all the words that he's saying, and I can work out to that if I'm so inclined. Not only that, but I could be listening to that because it's checking me at the same time. You hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I got so much music for everybody. I'm trying to tell you, and this is like, all right. So meditation. All right. So I guess this here helps build into what we're talking about, like who to build with, how to build. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, and in this unity. You know what I'm saying? So this is another nugget. You know what I'm saying? So the whole Lost Sheep. You right, Tone. You right, Tone. That whole album is like, man, that's Soul on Ice right there. You right, Art. Let me see here. I got you.
My bad. I didn't want to interrupt. This song was fire too. My recommendation is listen to anything Rouse tell you to listen to, because he be on point.
Yeah, and if I didn't make that clear, if you want to get that good Israelite music, you go to the brother's channel. Hopefully, I made that clear when we first came on.
That was from the very, very beginning. Like, when you come to Red Letter Wrapped, by all means, we read the scriptures. That's the most important thing. But when it comes to music, come to the playlist section. There's no excuse, family. There's no excuse. I've been building this library full of music that takes you straight to the artist page. You can add their music to your favorite playlist, create your own playlist that way. But like, oh my goodness, like there's so much music. There's brothers and sisters, they're all different types. So the album that the Ak was talking about, like, I would definitely recommend Brother Eshawn Burgundy album, Lost Sheep. here, I put this in the private chat. There's this album right here. There's so many albums. There's so much music. There's just so much. I'm telling you, man, my phone be my radio. Like I put everything on my USB, little geek drive on my little thumbstick, and then I put it into the front of my radio, and I'll just play everything off of that. And I'm telling you, my radio be addicted to Paisley the Hebrew and be addicted to Naviel and Dimitri. I mean, there's so much good. I mean, I still be bumping Tone Spain. I still be bumping his. I be waiting on new projects from you. You
appreciate you. Appreciate you.
You got to have me start feeling some kind of way live with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so here's what I'm gonna do, fam.
I love
go
you.
Ahead, go ahead, speak that. Go ahead, speak that.
New projects. I'm waiting for that new penmanship. I know the Holy Spirit got you. I know He got you. Like, come on. We need something brand new from you.
Yeah, I got these, man. I got 2 MacBooks, and instead of buying a new one, I said, man, I'm gonna just get the old ones fixed. So they with the Mac guy right now, and he working through it.
No doubt. But there's so much good music out here for us to listen to edify our spirit. So what I was getting ready to talk about is meditation. All right. So to meditate and to be in meditation, right? This is something how you seek to who you build with. You can tell who meditates and who don't meditate by their conversation. See, when you meditate on the Most High's word, like you follow the scriptures. The scripture tells us to meditate on His law, statutes, commandments, and judgments day and night. And then when you leave your home, you're supposed to set your hand forth to do, like bind this to your hand, bind His law, statutes, commandments, and judgments unto your hand. So everything that you do it to please the Father. You do it with the aspects to love your neighbors, you love yourself, that this is the work ethic that you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you can tell when people be meditating, is because they're trying to be edified day after day after day. Trying to be better each day. You pray that your heart and your mind be renewed daily, that it be edified, circumcise the wickedness, circumcise the fat, circumcise misunderstanding, give you a double portion of discernment. And so the music you listen to is a part of your meditation. I pulled this up on Red Letter Rap. And I was pulling up in the words in Hebrew. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's do that. Let me pull up my sticky notes right quick, and I'll share these with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So this is this little something y'all can take with y'all. These are just nuggets. You need this. All right. Let me see here. I clicked on my sticky notes. I'm just waiting for it to pull open. And so we got a chance to pull this up on Red Letter Rap, and this was a treat to be able to do. I gotta exit this note. I don't need to see none of that. Uh-oh. My bad, Misalagi.
Oh, take your time, man. Take your time. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna put some comments up. We'll speak to some of these comments. The first four is LSC. I think we hit that one already. I think I probably went too far up. This is the comment I wanted to be. This comment was pertinent to the conversation. Being real, not triggered. By trying to love without the LSC is Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, Khan. And all our unrighteousness are as filthy rags and nothing else. That's right. You can't do nothing on your own accord. You have to do according to what the Father gave, and the Father gave you LSC at how many forms? Y'all put a 7 up if you know the forms that the Father gave you LSC. One great way is He gave Mashiach to you. Mashiach said, He the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody come unto the Father except through me. Well, you can't come unto the Father if He not representing LSC. He couldn't say that if He wasn't the law, statutes, and commandments incarnate. Mashiach was the full embodiment of the Word. Mashiach was the Word that was made flesh, that dwelt among humans. So when you see that LSC right there and you trying to do what you think is right, wrong,
Excuse me.
It's all about the LSC. It's all about the law, statutes, and commandments. It's all about Him. Ani Yaakov 14 and 12. We're gonna read that too. Go ahead and read this. Go ahead and read this sticky note, bro.
All right. So there you go. So meditate, right? Hebrew word 1897, Haggah. So you have your ha, ga, and your ah, or your ha again, Haggah. To murmur in pleasure or anger. So when you speak under your breath, all right, by implying to ponder, is when you're thinking, imagine it, visualize in your mind, meditate, to mourn, mutter, roar, soar, speak, study, talk, utter, right? So the next word that means meditate is shayak. So shayaka or shayak, to ponder by implying to converse with oneself, hence aloud. So this is when you're talking out loud to yourself. This is part of meditation. When you speak these things, affirm these things. Excuse me, family, over here burping a little bit. But to ponder, to think about it, and to speak about what you're thinking out loud. This is part of your meditation. To utter, commune, complain, declare. This is part of meditate. To muse, to be inspired. What's powering your inspiration? Pray, speak, talk with. Should be talk with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's part of your meditation. So the word meditation itself, 1901 right here, Hagayak. All right, from an unused root akin to the word meditate. So it's just like the word or related to the word to meditate, to properly a murmur, complain, meditation, musing, Hagayawan. All right, so intensely. Now this is where your song and your dance comes from, a murmuring sound. This is where you humming your tune, i.e., or for example, a musical notation, probably similar to the modern afetuso, to indicate solemnity of movement. So this is your song and your dance. This is your praise right here. It's part of your meditation by implying a machination. This machination or is a mechanical movement or dance, repetitive dance. You know what I'm saying? So a device or like a device, Hygien, meditation, solemn sounds. This is all part of your meditation. So this is who you should build with. This is how you should even build your building skills, is to meditate on the Most High's word, like he tells us. So sing and dance it, give him thanks and praise. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell by the conversation you having with people, do they do this? You know what I'm saying? You know, is the things that come up out of them, you know, lined up with thinking things through, you know, being edifying, or something that is a change from who they once was into who they are today. Is it a loving you through? Is it a something that's just going to help you be able to build? Is it really giving you gems, or are they giving you exalted flesh?
Rat poisoning.
Right, rat poison.
Giving you strict
You know, that's right. Are they giving you like exalted flesh? You know, that's exactly right. Strychnine, rat poisoning, right there. You say it just so perfect right there. You hitting it just so perfect when you say it like that. Talk that talk.
Nah, because you know why, bro? This is something that we do these things, and a lot of times, Israel, I'm gonna go and remove it so we get back on time. A lot of times we do stuff and we don't even know what we doing. We have no idea the power of our thoughts, but more importantly, the power of our words. We have no idea how powerful they are. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna go and drop some of these comments in, and then we go and get back to the get back. This one I think I dropped. Phantom Warrior. This is incredible right here. Christian Bloods called for truce during the LA riots. So they was trying to unify, but the police got so scared, and the people out there got so scared, because if y'all talking about unity, that's a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for a lot of reasons, because your unity signifies the destruction and downfall of this wicked construct called the West. Make no mistake about it. Anytime Israel talk about rising, which is why they talked about killing the black, a new J. Edgar Hoover said he didn't want new black Messiah, although right now you probably got thousands upon thousands of, quote, black Messiahs, I put that in quotes, running around. Not only is they talking about truth, but they talk about you get back to your culture. Not only they talk about you get back to your culture, that's your LSC, but they talk about, hey, you know what? We don't need the heathen. We don't need the heathen to do nothing for us because we got ourselves. We all we need. Aniyah Coleman, peace and blessing you, sis. Hope all is well. In Revelation 14:12. Revelation 14:12, I'm going to read it. In Revelation 14:12 said, and I looked and behold, wrong one. Revelation 14:12, it says, one of my favorites, here is the patience of the saints. Who's the saints, fam? Put a one up if you know who the saints is. See, Christianity has co-opted this phrase, which they're not in the book, but they co-opted the phrase anyway. The patience of the saints is those same saints that's talked about in the Old Testament. The Old Testament, the saints, is the Israelites. So when you see saints, replace that with Israelites, then you'll be on the right track. It don't say Christians. If you see Christian anywhere in the book, you should find me a Christian anywhere in this book. I got $1,000 for you. If you can't find it, then sit down. I'm going to read this precept. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Father. Two things. They keep the commandments of the Father, which is Mashiach, and then you have faith in Mashiach. I'm going to read how I read. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Father and have faith in Mashiach. You just said Mashiach twice in there. When you keep the commandments of the Father, you're keeping Mashiach, and then you also have faith in Mashiach. The commandments of the Father, LSC, is him. See, that's what Christianity failed to teach you. They wanted to separate the law, statutes, and commandments from him when he was that. He said he came not to abolish, but to fulfill. So how you going to separate the man from the commandments? Explain that to me. Somebody needs to teach me the right way if that's the wrong way. Why society, I see you. I see you. And this is right here. When you talk about unity and you talk about doing the book, me, Ross, you mentioned this when we was in the background. The orphans and the widows and the fatherless. What Israelites is going to and Brother C, I'm not going to say, brother, I'm not going to say Israelite. I'm going to put this on Brother C. Brother C, when the last time you supported the orphans and the widows and the fatherless? Brother C, when have you done that? Because you're always talking about LSC, but have you done this? Have you done this? What Mashiach said he wanted you to do. Brother C, have you done that? Don't ask nobody else, Brother C. You ask yourself on the YouTube street. Brother C, have you gone to have you tended to the orphans, the widows, and the fatherless? Brother C, have you done that? And if you haven't, Brother C, why you not doing it? See, I have to put stuff on myself. I can't ask the fam this. I have to ask this of myself. Shalom, Real Morgan. Peace and blessings to you. And yes, we do need help in this area. We definitely do. Wise Society, I see you. I see you, Wise Society. Yeah, that's right, Tone Spain. He said he come in the full volume of the book. That's right. I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna put this up, Tone. This was Tone Spain said. We having a conversation in the background, but Tone Spain said Mashiach said he come in the full volume of the book. So how a man gonna say he come in the full volume of something if that's not who he is and what he represents? Not one time did the man, when he walked the earth, quote anything but the Old Testament. You go back and look and see what he was quoting from and what he was speaking from. He was LSC because he is LSC. Only way he could say he come in the full volume of the book if he was the book. Now, Christianity never shared that with us. You can't separate him from LSC. He is LSC. That tears down your whole Easter trees and Christmas eggs. That tears that whole thing down. Go ahead and say that, bro.
I love when y'all be saying that. Like, on one second. All right, so yeah, absolutely, right. All the false doctrine got to go, and so there was something that you was touching on. I had to step away for a hot second, and when I came back in, I thought I heard you touching on assignment, being on assignment, and then you got away from it, and so All right. So one of the biggest things that we don't seem to understand is our assignment. So in this process of this unity, right? And once we talk about, Yahweh Shai told us, he said that the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. And the reason why the laborers are few is because they don't know they don't know what job to play. They don't know what position to play. And how is that? Why I say that? Because there's even the parable that Yahweh Shai goes into talking about how the master or the king or the master of the orchard went out at different parts of the day, and he hired men. And why did he hire them? He said he walked up on them and said, how come y'all stand idle? You know what I'm saying? How come you ain't working? And they because nobody has hired us. See, they didn't know their job. They don't know what they're supposed to do. So let's make that modern. Let's make that contemporary. We got our young brothers and sisters out here on the block, you know what I'm saying, that don't have a job in the kingdom. They doing it. They doing a job, but it's the wrong job. Whether it's hustling or working illegally or doing things illegally, they may have a job, but it's the wrong job. And they don't understand that the job that they're doing is the wrong job, right? Because ain't nobody gave them hire. Nobody has shown them what the real job is. Nobody's explained to them who they are and the responsibility of who they are and what job that they have to play. No one's taught them. No one showed them. Therefore, they are not. No one's hired them yet. And so this is a part. This is what comes with getting into this word and edifying your heart and your mind daily. Is to understand these concepts and these things. Like look, family. Like this is how we got to be fishermen of men. And we talked about this. It's in your conversation. It's how you approach your brother. It's how you approach your sister and get them hip to this what their job is, who they are. You know what I mean? So the Most High is giving you assignment, and so now we translate that even into our relationships right now. For those of us that are awake, we in the truth, we reading the word and such, you know, and sometimes. You know, we was talking about this behind the scenes. You know, it's like some of y'all women. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't know that the Most High is giving you a job as well. And so one of the overused things I see so much in the kingdom is the Proverbs 31 woman. Well, a lot of women don't know how to be a Proverbs 31 woman, and they want to claim that they're a Proverbs 31 woman, but they won't get on their job. They got a job to do. If you read the aspects of a Proverbs 31 woman, that she got her own business, she got her own thing going on, she got her own space going on, she got work to do, and she doing it. She putting in the work. And what's her husband doing? Her husband that values her and loves her so much, he's at the gates greeting the brothers and sisters, brothers at the gate. He's counseling with wise counsel. You know what I'm saying? So these things. These are concepts that we don't seem to fully get. So I got a job, she got a job, we got a job. And as kingdom-minded, you know, individuals or families and households, we got to get to the point to where we know what our job is and do that thing. Do that job. Seek the Most High for the job. You know what I'm saying? Pester the Most High through your prayer. Like what do you want me to do?
You know what though, Rose, and here's how I address that, because that is central to the will of the Father, what you're talking about. And I address this probably every time I come on. And it's not rocket science either. Because here's why. The Father is so cold, this is what he has done. The Father has given each one of you, each one of us, I'm going to make it personal, each one of us tasks to do on the earth. The task of what he said to do about keeping LSC, that's a standard. The task of doing the things about rocking out with the orphans and the widows and the fatherless, that's a baseline standard. That's baseline. That's a baseline standard thing that we should be doing on the automatic. But now, what about when it comes to the things, the jobs, the tasks, the ministries, what you would call ministries that you're supposed to be doing on an individual basis and on a corporate basis? On an individual basis, it's simple. What is the will for you have to ask yourself the question, what is the will for the Father in my life? And I'm asking this question. Father, what is the will for you that you've given me in my life that I should be doing? More than likely, it's going to be doing what he is. It's love. It's the things that you love to do that he put in you. The Father put in each and every one of us things that we love. Those things that we love are going to be manifest in things that we do. Now, I'm going to go back to what the comments that you said about the hustler. What does a hustler typically like to do? He likes to get money. The Father put that in the hustler to get money, but you need to be getting money how? The right way. How? Right. According to how the Father gave you your talents. Not selling dope and peddling dope to your people because you're a great businessman. I say this all the time, and people and my own family members, my brothers who are close to me have heard me say this. Who are the best businessmen on the earth right now? Not because of what they do, because what they do is wrong. But they the best businessman. A hustler is the best businessman because he got everybody coming at it. He don't know if he need to trust his friends, his foes, the police after him, the FBI after him, Rico after him, but he's still able to turn a buck. To me, that's the best businessman on earth. And that's no different than the corporate world. It's no different. And so what brothers need to be able to do is take what the Father has given me, the stuff that I love to do, and make that manifest for the kingdom.
Facts.
Make that manifest for our people. Because that's why the Father put it in you in the first place. Point blank. He didn't put it in you so that you could go out and buy a private jet. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
I always think about when I was in Christianity, one of my pet peeves was that everybody thought the peak of ministry and the peak of being a minister was having a quote unquote church office. So being a pastor, a deacon, having one of those titles was they always taught that was like the epitome of maturity. And to me, that was a disservice because it's people that ain't gonna get reached once you hit that kind of status in that Christian world. And I thought that was pretty obvious. But I always preach that, the Most High called you where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be a prime example. I work in the back of supermarkets. I'm having conversations with people that nobody sees. Nobody's seeing them people. The pastor ain't seeing them. The deacon ain't seeing them. And they burnt out. So when they get out of work, they go home. Nobody's talking to these people. And I've had the privilege to encounter many Israelites in the back rooms of these markets and these stores. And I just that's the point I want to make, is that like the epitome of ministry for us as individuals and as a nation is not necessarily us gathering these titles and getting to these certain positions of being acknowledged, but more so the work that's getting put in our everyday life.
Go ahead and call it for what it is, Tom. Say it.
What'd you say?
I said say it. Go ahead and call it for what it is.
I mean, yeah, we shouldn't just be doing this for show. That's really what it is. We shouldn't be doing this for attention. We shouldn't be doing this for show. And I think it's obvious when you got a real passion. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got a real passion, you have in every conversation the Spirit leads you to have. You're not letting none of them pass you up. You eager for it. You waiting for it. You can't. It's like you got so much anticipation and so much eagerness to go in and have this conversation, regardless of the result. Because you planting seeds. Like you said, you planting seeds on the stony ground, planting seeds on the hold on, baby, hold on. Planting seeds on every type of soil, even on the rocks.
Right. And that's just okay. So I'll go ahead and say it the way if you saying it, I'm not saying you ain't saying it because you're saying it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it at the rawest way possible. A title is fool's recognition. That's what that is. And exactly what Tom is getting at and saying is the urge to sow seed anywhere and everywhere is the urge to hear yourself talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we was talking about earlier on. You know, giving out, you know, all this abundance of flesh and braggadociousness and things like that. There's hardly no edification coming out. It's just brothers that want to hear themselves talk and sound smart, you know, which is fool's recognition. At the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, I am just your brother. I am nobody special. I'm just a brother that loves you. It's just that simple. And
yeah, but okay, so let me address that comment though. Let me address that comment that you just said. Now, but before I address that comment, I want to, hey Mac, how you doing, bro? It's good seeing you. It's good to see you in the house, brother. It's good to see you. And to what you said, Mac, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Father and keep His commandments, for that's the whole duty of man right there. Yes, LSC is the whole duty of man, and everything falls underneath that. Why society? You said the StreamYard link for a question or a comment. Why society? They'll go to the link right there. And if you want to hit the link, there it is right there. If you want to hit the link and join on, you're more than welcome to do that. There was a comment that came in that I saw that I starred, and I want to address that comment. Let's see here. You asked the question of, what about those in the truth still using the name we were taught by our enemies to call our Savior? Well, Mashiach answers that I believe in Isaiah, where he comes back and not only does he check those who are eating things that they should not, somebody gonna get checked for calling him a name that's not his. Because my understanding of what the book teaches is that he's going to get a new name. He has a new name that's written on his thigh. And so he's not going to be, and it's a future prophecy, he's not going to be going for those people calling him any name. And so the way how I answer that is this. If you're calling him something that you shouldn't, he's going to be the one to check you. Point blank, period. So now I'm going to get back to Cavity Creep. What's up, brother? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well. And he has a comment. I had just woke up, but I told them I didn't believe in white Jeebus, and you should have seen the faces. And soulfully sowing seeds. Peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope you are well. I had you starting in the comments, but we're moving so fast that it's hard for me to keep up sometimes. Why society? If you click on the link, you'll be brought into the background, and then I'll bring you forward, and then you could ask, share your comment to the family. And I appreciate the commentary that you had earlier, because me and Rawls was actually discussing that and talking about that backstage. Sorry, yeah, peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope all is well. So let's get back to the get back. Tone, you hit up on the mission and the mission in life. I'm gonna put that comment up, because your mission in life is all a part of the whole unity thing within the Israelite community. And I wanted you to expound upon that, because that all ties to your individual mission in life. Of course, you're supposed to keep commandments. To me, that's baseline. But then the question I would ask next is that, okay, your baseline and you're keeping this law, statutes, and commandments. What are you building? What have you built? I ask y'all that all the time. What you doing? If you go to where you think you're supposed to be at in the second Exodus, what you're going to be doing when you get there? Why are you going to be doing it? Who told you to do that? What you're doing? Does it line up with the book? And so your mission in life. What is your mission in life? How do you get to that? Shalom, sis. Hope all is well. Peace and blessings to you. How you doing, sis? Go ahead and unmute yourself and greet the family.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Peace and blessings to the brethren, to the family. I'm White Society, or Christina is my government name. Anyway, I wanted to really talk about why I was putting those comments in the chat. For the last 2 weeks, I've sat in over 5 hearings, from juvenile court to school hearings, all Black children, all our children. And the judge said something in the juvenile hearing that really was profound. And she said, if we had more people coming in to advocate, and I'm advocating that they let my people go. That's what I say every time I show up. You guys need to let these children go. The things that you're accusing them of are childlike behavior, not criminal. But the judge said, if we had more people coming here like you, I wouldn't be sending so many children away. And that hit me a certain way. And I started to really think about when Lot got taken, Abraham gathered 318 of his trained brethren of his household and went and got Lot and the children back. And that stayed in my mind over and over. And I started to look to who could I ask for support in this battle. I'm a child and family advocate. I do this every day. And I started to watch just this battle of, you know, our kids being caught in a civil war between all this political stuff that has nothing to do with them. And who is saying, let our children go? I, of course, along with some others, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. And so I don't know what that request looks like, but my heart really goes out. A lot of these children are fatherless. A lot of them just getting caught up in the system, getting younger and younger. I mean, we got 11-year-olds, you know, that all they did was get upset and maybe have a temper tantrum. The police are getting called on them, and it's escalating, and the attack is really profound, and it's worse than I've ever seen. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and right now it's the worst I've ever experienced out of that 20 years against Black children in particular. And I know it's a spiritual attack. Sometimes I try to talk to the children or their families about their identity, but they're nowhere near that level of understanding what I'm saying, right? They just want the freedom to be, you know, be free from oppression, right? And so I think sometimes like fixing situations or helping in a situation gives them the ear to be ready to hear about who they are and why they're being attacked in this way. And I'll stop right there because I don't want to take up too much space.
No, what you're saying is so on point, and like I know it definitely grabs at my heart because, you know, I've been through my certain things as a child, you know, getting passed around from family member to family member or friends of the family, stuff like that. People that ain't even your family members, you living at their home for a number of months and maybe a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't even your family. This is just people you staying with because, you know, your family's broke up. So when it comes to what we should be doing exactly what it is you're talking about. We need more fathers and mothers, or more advocates going into court. And this is part of the goal. You know, this and I know what I'm saying. Maybe it sounds good and everything, and listen to the need that we have that sister's talking about. These are our children. This is the kids that's in our school systems. What area you stay in, sis?
My work is national. I live in California. I was just in a hearing in Tennessee. It seems like that's a hot spot. There's also a case where 5 children was taken away from their parents as they're traveling. I'm battling through that. We showed up in court and they kicked us out, you know? And so it's like, wait, we're coming back for our children. You cannot have our children and our families, and we're putting our foot down. But there's, you know, they look at us as, no, you can't do that. But if everyone was saying, no, you can't have our children, you can't have our families, they'd have to reconsider. Now that I'm going in to set the children free. They don't belong in the system. The system shouldn't own them and control them. It's almost like a new form of slavery. They get money for it. And don't even want to take care of them, whether it's the school system or whatever. I had 3 hearings in the school system, you know, one of our little sisters over in Louisiana, you know, fighting because she has sickle cell anemia and they think she's a drug addict because she has prescribed medications on her. So they want to give her a criminal jacket for being a child with sickle cell. And these are the kind of things that they do to our children. And it's happening more frequently every day. I got parents all across this nation that call me, please help, please help. So, you know, I would love to have help. there's not a lot of glory and fame and money in it. It's let my people go is my movement. So I tell people all the time, I'm coming saying, let my people go. I don't know what else, needs to be said beyond that. These are not the system's children. These are our children, and we have to fight for them. We cannot let them be consumed by the enemy like this.
So, sis, I have a question for you, and I put the question up because this is something that all Israelites, this is an all hands on deck moment, in my opinion. No matter where we are, there's support that we can give, whether it be not just if we can help face to face and be an advocate, but how can we not only support your efforts, but how can we get in the mix as individuals?
So every single week, I conduct a Know Your Rights training for anybody can attend so that people can understand how to combat the governance structures that supposedly govern and rule over us. Because most of the time, these structures don't even know their own policy, law, and code. So that's my area of expertise is law, policy, and code. And so I allow anybody across the nation who wants to know these things to come and just partake in the information, take it back to the community, and this is how we begin the fight for our children. I can give you my email address. I mean, I don't really know other than that. And then showing up, doing a court watch, right? If juveniles are going to be appearing before court that day, just go in, watch what's going on. Your presence alone, I'm telling you, will shake that courtroom. It changes the environment where people have to say, wait a minute, there's something different here today. When there's hearings or board meetings and they're talking about all these actions they're going to do against our children, and you could tell by the language that they use, disruptive, all kinds of targeted language, right? That's when your presence and you speaking up. No, you do not need a degree. You just need to be present. I'm training people every day on situation by situation. Here's what you do. Here's what you fill out. This is the law, policy, or code that you need to throw back at them, right? Or here's the proper channel. Some of them are legal actions we have to take to court. There's a host of activities that can be done to show we're present. You can't have our children. And so I can give you my email address for anyone that wants to help out with this battle, wherever you're at. Most of these codes and laws are federal, so it doesn't matter where you're at in this nation. It all started with the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and that is what gives federal jurisdiction over our lives. And so I'm willing to share, whatever I know to help get our children out.
Okay, so sis, here's what I want to do. I want to take it a step further because the Israelites are powerful, and we have a powerful voice. However, this is something that should be resonating with not only those who are a part of the culture of being an Israelite, but those other channels and YouTube channels and people that care about and love our people. And it's not just Israelites just love our people. Don't get it twisted. I mean, you got people that's out there. So here's what I'd like to do, sis. What I'd like to do is I'd like to bring you on if you could come on another time. Maybe it's next weekend when I'm on, or maybe when another brother's coming on, and actually show us step by step and have the show just focused on us reclaiming our children and the whole Let Us Go movement. If you are willing to do that, if that's okay. Can I say that?
Yes, no doubt. I teach that concept from a Deuteronomy 6 perspective of what our responsibility is towards our children and future generations. And, so I am more than willing to do that. I just thought I would jump on and plead for some help in this space because it's getting bad.
No, and sis, what I want you to do is I'm gonna put the ticker up. There's our email, saltheearth144@gmail.com. And so y'all already know the next KC next week is gonna be about this topic and this topic alone. And this quiet is kept. What the sisters bringing is really dovetails into us being unified and operating in unity. Because we do have it pulls on our heartstrings when we hear about the stories about our people, them taking away our children and doing all kind of ill will, the heathen adopting our children and them doing all kind of ill will.
Yep.
Because they've been doing that all the time. So sis, if you don't mind, would you mind joining on and you hit us up via email and then you join on, and this is what we're gonna rock out with next weekend, next Friday. This is gonna be the topic next Sun God Day. This is going to be day number 1
Yes.
topic where the sister bring this out and she teaching us how to do these things.
Yes, I definitely would love to come on and share all the information that I can. And I appreciate you guys for offering that opportunity to me to do it.
No, and so hopefully, sis, the rest of the Israelite family, all those other channels, because we're small. Salt of the Earth Productions is a small fish, but we got other brothers and sisters that's doing some powerful stuff. My brother Phil from the Advice Channel, he done built got millions and millions of followers, and so hopefully, cats like him, my brother Tariq Nasheed, the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth. Dante Fortson. I'm naming off Israelites that's getting busy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm also naming Israel. Now, everybody I name, I'm subscribed to their channel and I listen to what they're saying. They're not all under the Israelite culture, but they doing things because they love their people.
Right.
And for me, that's a requirement. If that's a requirement, I could build with you. And who you? I asked the question of Brother C. Who can you build with? Those that love their people. Point blank, period. Because if you love your people, you're going to do things accordingly. You're going to show that love in your actions, not just in your words. Don't tell me you love me, brother C. Show me. I'm from Missouri. I'm not from Missouri. Missouri is a show me say. They say, show me what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you're saying, brother. And so it's like, I want to also offer as well another time for you to come on Red Letter Wrapped and do the same thing. And also something that you were saying, I really wanted you to go in and highlight on and, do it whenever the Most High prompts you to do it, but helping us understand that to be an advocate, like you said, it don't take a degree of any kind. All it takes is your participation. All you got to do is just show up to court and pay attention and advocate.
Right.
Saying that's all it really takes.
Right.
So I'd love for you to come on Red Letter Wrapped at another time and also break these things down. And I think if you were to put your email in the private chat or whatnot, that there's some other ministries that we could probably hopefully circulate your email through and get some help in these different areas, hopefully in different states. And I know the Most High has been blessing me to be able to kingdom build with a lot of brothers and sisters nationwide. And then like whether it be on Instagram or either here on YouTube when we do kingdom builds and like he said, kingdom conversations, and there's a lot of different places that we should be bringing this same topic to. So absolutely, all praise to the Most High. Anything that Red Letter Wrapped can do, I would definitely love for you to probably talk with my wife or something like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. Anything that we can possibly do to help circulate this understanding, we're definitely down to help.
So
I appreciate that. I did put my email in the chat. Do you guys see my email in the chat? I am on my phone, so excuse me if you.
Yeah.
Sis, can I put your email up on the banner? Can I do that?
Yes, please, because I am also moving into creating a legal offense initiative nationally for our children to really supercharge this. One thing that I have to say in all of my years of doing this work is that I haven't lost a child yet. And I think that the spiritual understanding of that is that I believe God gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. This corrupt people try to take that and utilize it and weaponize it against us, but it doesn't work when we stand back and say, no, we are the rightful authority over the law, statutes, and commandments. We are the rightful owners and the most credible witness of our own children. And we push back on them with the understanding that the foundation of the throne of the Most High is founded on justice and righteousness. They cannot claim that as something that they know how to deal with, work with, or function with, or implement. And so, that's the energy that I come with. Like, you're gonna let my people go today. And I have to say that everybody should come with that confidence and understanding about Psalm 89, and I just want to encourage people with that.
I appreciate that, sis, because that goes perfectly what I say all the time, and I always ask the question: who on the earth was given to the book is the only ones that can decode and rightfully divide the book. Put a one up if you know who that is, because see, that's the problem with not only Christianity but with the whole earth. They don't recognize who the book was for, to, and about, and who the book was given to. Well, if the book was given to you, that means that you the only one that can rightfully divide it. Somewhere in the book say he have not dealt so with any other nation. Who is he talking about? Put a one up if you know who he talking about. My family know who he talking. My family in the chat know who he was talking about when he say he have not dealt so his laws and statutes, and he have not dealt so with any other nation. They wasn't given to you. So if the book wasn't given to you, how can you rightfully divide it?
I'm just gonna get my verbal because I'm over here messaging. It's us and only us. That book from cover to cover is talking only to us and about us. This is our history book. This is our rule book. This is our everything book. This is your baby book. This is your everything. This is, and even the books that they took out. This is the rules for your uncle's house, your auntie's house, cousin's house. This is telling you about how big your family really truly is. This is the book teaching you the rules and regulations of what to do, what not to do. This is the situations of man. This is all the statutes, is the situations and conditions of man, like the things you're gonna come across and how to handle it. That's the judgments part. Is how to handle it. Judgments also has to do with the consequences. The law is this is what you're supposed to do every single day. You set forth your hand to do when you walk out your house. You're supposed to meditate on to do everything that you do in the measurement of this right here. These 10 requirements are the 10 requirements in which you should perform and do everything that you do in. You know what I'm saying? That's that's what we got to. And the only people that are going to give you this understanding is those that are bloodline related and understand this book. This is how we are the people of the book. Do we understand what's being spoken? Just like when Yahushua was asked by his disciples, how come it is you speak to the people in parables and mysteries and puzzles and things, or in ways in which they don't understand? He said, it is for you to know the mysteries of heaven. So for those who have ear to hear and to understand, it is for them to understand. He's revealing and concealing the secrets of the Shamayim at the same time. So only those that are meant to hear the book, that are meant to understand the word, meant to understand this instruction, they're going to get it. And those that don't get it, you will be blessed and highly favored if the Most High puts a person near you that understands this word and will take time to explain it to you if you don't understand. That's where your real blessing comes from, when the Most High sends someone to you to help you understand what you don't understand. Otherwise, whew.
Look at it. Before you go, Tom, I want to address this comment. The oracles was given only to us. That's right. Look, the gates of Huda. I love that sister. She dropped some good information. That's that precept right here. Romans 3:2. Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Father. The Father gave us the book. He didn't give it to nobody else. That's why you the only ones that can rightfully divide it. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I wanted to salute the sis and say, like, I identify with what she's saying on a personal level, because when I was about 19, I got into some trouble, and the court system in Philly, which is notorious for doing us dirty. I think Meek Mill, the rapper Meek Mill, kind of put that on the map as far as how they trick us into that system. But I did some stuff to get it and got in trouble, and they tried to add me into like a RICO case, and put me in a case with a bunch of people I never seen, just so they could trump up the charges for all of us. And there was an Israelite. She didn't identify as an Israelite, but it was an Israelite woman who was a big-time lawyer in the city that took my case pro bono, didn't charge me nothing.
And she talked to me straight up. She said, "What did you do? What didn't you do?" I kept it real with her, and she was like, "You ain't gonna get nothing but a year of probation. Stay out of the way." And that's what happened. But I was looking at 10+ years federal time, and she fought for me. She fought for me, and it didn't happen. What they was trying simultaneously. I came to the faith in that same little prison stay. That's when I first started calling on the Most High as well. But yeah, that story resonates with me, so I definitely want to learn and get involved.
I appreciate that. I was in a hearing with a little 15-year-old. He turned 15 in there. He was in juvenile custody for 4 months. I said, "What did he do?" They said, he got mad and started yelling. He didn't hit nobody. He didn't break anything. He didn't destroy any property. Where is the crime that he did? Let this little boy go. And so I ended up getting favor from the Most High to be a part of his probation hearing. And the probation officer said, "We're permanently ending his probation today. We're going to go ahead and release him," because they said, "We have 9 things we want him to do." And I said, "And the community is going to do all 9 of those. You don't need to send him." They were trying to give him another year. "You don't need to send him to any of these programs. Here, we got the community right here," which I went and gathered up and told them, "You guys all need to be here and tell what you're going to do." Part of it was mentorship. Something else was, we will fulfill every single category of what you're saying this child needs, because this is our child and we're the credible source of authority and information over our children. And they released him. And I was thinking that if he didn't have, anybody to step in and say, "No, we're going to fulfill these requirements. We don't need the system to do it. We got it." He would have been gone for a year, and they were already planning on transporting him to a whole nother state where his family wouldn't have been able to get to him. And so that's the kind of stuff that's happening every day, because my mind really started going to how many other children have had to go through the same thing that looked just like our little son there, and got sent away, and there was no one to go and retrieve them, and so it used to be that I only went to K-12 education types of hearings, but now more so I'm doing this child welfare, where it's DCS or Department of Children's Services that's coming for our kids, or either juvenile court. And it's just such a great need that I hope that people hear what I'm saying. We just need to be present. Our presence shifts the environment alone.
And I think this resonates with not only the family, but this message will resonate with the whole house of Israel. I believe that. And I believe that I pray that the Father will put those Israelites who are responsible for lots more people, so that the whole house can take a part of this. The whole house. I'm talking about every Israelite. I'm not just talking about the few people that rock out with salt of the earth. I'm talking about the whole house of Israel need to be aware that this is going on, because I noticed the climate with schools, and I noticed how they've weaponized the school board and the school districts against us, and they frame it around CRT. That's just a code word in the cover for them to openly attack you. And sister, correct me if I'm wrong. That's probably related to how they're doing the school systems and how they're operating is part of that whole complex structure, to whereas they attacking us left and right. But I know that the Father is watching and seeing all of this. Every wicked deed that they do, he gonna turn it up on their head. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I'm a school board member, even though I'm not representing as one today, and that kind of stuff don't go down at the public school that I am a school board member of. But we need more people in position like that, right? To say, "No, you're not doing this. This is totally." I counter proposed that we remove all Roman Greco mythology from schools then, right? If you want to come down this road, we're going to remove all Greek mythology then. And let's see what's left, because I'm not going to go down that trail. But there are behavior codes and policies that are attached to penal codes, right? And they're all based on a person's perception of how parents are acting. So let's say, for instance, the board policy says you come in here and you get loud about anything. If we perceive a threat, we're going to turn that over to the district attorney or the general attorney and say that you came in here as a threatening us. And now that becomes a misdemeanor charge. Okay. A lot of times parents, that are having rightful emotions about things that happen to their children aren't aware that these policies exist. They go in there and they get emotional. And guess what? Now you just got turned over to the DA for a crime and didn't know what did you do? And those are the kind of things that we have to be aware of when we're mobilizing to go into board meetings, right? Or any space. So yes is always under some kind of guise, and this is, nothing's new under the sun. They continue to cycle these things around. During the time of the 60s, it was called the White Citizens Council, right? They had every area of government with someone in position, a well-oiled machine. So at the board meetings, it's just that level of attack that's permeating through schools. It's happening at all the government entities. So they all work together, right? So in some cities, they're banning history, and then they'll ban any celebrations in the mayor's office for any Black history or any history the same way. So it looks different in policy, but it's the same kind of wicked practice. And they put behavior and disciplinary codes to align with all of the things that they're doing. But because we typically didn't look at laws, policies, and codes as, part of something that we cared about because they were weaponized against us, we don't know that these are the things that they're doing in a very, very well organized, well-oiled machine way, right? So we can't always show up with emotions. We have to understand how to flip that policy, how to flip that law, how to use that code and hold them accountable. Like you said, you don't want to talk about this kind of history. Well, we don't want our kids to learn about Greek mythology, right? And so those are just things that are happening every day. I try to be more focused on the child treatment or mistreatment or lack thereof, and the abuse and the other things that are happening to abuse the law to try to detain our children and keep them there or take them away from their parent.
Yeah, and that's why we all need to be involved in this. Everybody that's hearing the snakes, we start here and then we spread out. But wherever city we're in, we need to be involved with this effort, because it goes back to the conversation that me and the brother Rawls was having background, and he said it, and I heard. It's funny how the Father works, because this has been a resonating theme for everybody that I listen to. Most of y'all are familiar with Lisa Cabrera. And the brother L that she had on his show that he did last Shabbat, not this Shabbat, but the last Shabbat that passed. I listened to that show, and I was like, you know what, this brother, what he's saying sounds exactly the stuff I'll be saying. One of the differences was the thought that we need to who's visiting the widow, who's visiting the homeless and the fatherless. And I had to look at myself and say, look in the mirror and say, brother, see, are you doing that? Because we all need to be doing self-introspective looks at ourselves so that we can make sure that we're doing the will of the Father. And that's one of them requirements right there that we all supposed to be doing. And quiet as kept, fam, that's baseline. You just in the batter's box if you're doing that. You hadn't even hit a single and go on the first base or second base.
I mean, truth be told, that's part of the covenant. So, like, all right. So, for instance, we'd already discussed, titles, and I'm nobody's teacher. I'm just your brother. This is what we go over on Red Letter Wrapped all the time, though. And the mantra is to heal your hood and to heal your household. So this is one of the topics that we talk about all the time. And then so part of the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments in taking care of the fatherless, the widow, the orphan, this is the covenant promise that we made. So on top of, if we're going to talk about law, statutes, commandments, and judgments, we took an oath with the Most High to do these things here as well. So whoever you're tuning into, whoever you learning Torah from, if they're not explaining these things to you as well, what it takes or what is required of us, are they really showing you the law? Are they really explaining these things? Are they really trying to emphasize, look, this is who we're supposed to be, to looking out for our children, and like there's a reason why I come for the lost sheep, the hardheads, the knuckleheads, the throwaways, because I'm one of them kids that grew up being passed around. I'm one of them niggas. So we supposed to be, and if I would have been brought up in a different atmosphere and whatnot, maybe it wouldn't have taken me so long to learn what it is I've come to learn. But I can't. I mean, at this point in time, it's like, hey, I became this way because the Most High designated it to be this way. But the thing is, as a nation, this is kind of a tricky one, because there's those I'm gonna say this to, and they're like, well, Brother Ross, you got the curses, we're under the curses, and this is why we had to go through all that. Yeah, that's true. We had to go through all these things because of these curses. Now the veil was lifted. Now we're awake to who we are. Now, since we're awake to who we are, now part of who we are is what we were commanded to do. And then coming back to this covenant, what does it look like? And it looks like looking after our children, getting our kids off the street. This is why I love the fact that we was talking about building with the camps. If nothing else, we should be saluting the camps because they're getting our brothers off the street. You know what I'm saying? Like that is so important. All the other things about doctrine, the little things here, there, 12 tribes chart. Yeah, I don't agree with none of those things either, but we can talk about those things behind the scenes. I salute the camps because they're getting our brothers and sisters off the street and at least trying to help with an understanding of what a family or household dynamic looks like, even if it's not perfect at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Because there's also doctrinal things out there that we may not agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, who plays what part and what the dynamic is. We could talk about them things behind closed doors. But at the heart and soul, the essence of all of this is getting our children out of the court system, getting our children off the street, getting our brothers and our sisters out the clubs, the bars, the brothels, getting them out of the porn industry, getting them out of, theft situations, out of dope dealing situations. This is what it's about. So starting where do we start? Well, obviously we have a need that we need to get into the court system, show up. There are those of us that have the ability to show up at these courthouses and advocate for these children. But we didn't know that until right now. And then there's also some of us that are sent out to the highways and byways, to preach on the corners during a certain time. Some of us, we need to understand that anytime you walk out your house and go to the grocery store, that's your moment to be in the highways and the byways of waking your brothers and sisters up. There's so much of this. There's different levels to this, but it also comes down to the simple, basic things of participation. Don't y'all remember that back in the day, participation is 90% of your grade? That's the same, that I'm sorry, but that truly is the same way with the Most High. He said, faith without works is dead. So how you going to declare your faith if you ain't putting in no work? It's about your participation.
That's what the book say. That's what the book say. And that dovetails Rawls right into this comment from Delusia. This is a critical conversation. Time to turn words into action. And see, that's what we all about over here. We're not really just doing a whole lot of flapping our gums. It's about what you build. What you done built. What have you built this day, this hour?
What have you learned?
What have you learned? What have you taken what you learned, and then the rest of this comment, time to turn words into action. What have you done into action? So this is what I don't want to have happen. All the Israelites are around the whole earth, here it is, and then they go back to their slumber and sleep. No, we're supposed to be doing according to what the books say. And we're supposed to be looking after the widow and the fatherless. We're supposed to be, that's our responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility. time to turn words into action. Stop bumping your gums, Brother C. What have you done, Brother C? What are you doing right now, sir? You have to ask yourself. I'm asking myself that on the open wire. Everybody have to ask themselves that question. And so, I'm already working on the thumbnail. Says I'm gonna use your image as the thumbnail, and I like the image. I zoom it in. You got those earrings on with the black with the fist in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that, and I'm probably gonna put the thumbnail up for the show. But that's gonna be the next show. I do have a question though that I want to get back to. The question is this, and Rawls and my sister and Tone touched on this. What is the code of operation? Because if you're operating and you're talking about putting away your differences, there should be a way that we operate. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna put it down. As far as putting each other on blast through the YouTube streets or the interweb or Twitter or MySpace or Facebook or LinkedIn or Link not, no sir, no ma'am, you should not be doing that. Some of the stuff should be behind the scenes. What say y'all?
Absolutely. Like there's things that I'm involved in that I can't talk about openly like this, and ain't everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? There's only a certain demographic of people. Like if that's your level of expertise, that's your level of involvement in the kingdom, I can discuss those things with you. So I'll put it to you like this. Just like back when I was in the world, they used to call me Goldie Fingers. Of course, y'all can see I'm light skinned, you know what I'm saying? So I got that Goldie look or whatever. Okay, keep that, say that, whatever. Okay, but the name Goldie Fingers meant, that it was like the embodiment of a hustler. On one hand is my 1099s and W-2s, and the other hand, I don't talk about them things in mixed company. It ain't everybody's business what's involved with them things.
You don't even. I hear you loud and clear. Keep going.
It's like
keep going.
I can talk scripture with anybody that's willing to hear that. But when it comes time for kingdom prep, kingdom plan, and execution of other things, I can only talk about those things with those that are in that like-mindedness. Like Brother Tone Smain said, you know what I'm saying? Like-minded individuals. So what operation or what project is it that is on your heart? Discern who it is that who is like-minded, who's working on that type of a project as well, and build with that person. Build with that person that is doing that thing. If you try putting your hat onto the table of people that are doing something completely different than you, then you at the wrong table. You are really talking with the wrong people, because they're not doing the same thing you're doing. Now, as it comes to as a kingdom whole, yeah. All right. Now you could probably sit down and have a kingdom conversation. Like, okay, what y'all doing? But as far as the specifics, oh no, you can only talk about those specifics with those people that have them like-minded goals and that have information on that type of topic. Outside of that, stay in your lane at your speed, and always take everything to prayer. Take everything to prayer. Ask the Most High for a double portion of discernment. Once again, ask the Most High, what is your talent? What talents did he give you? So that way you can sow those talents freely without fear. That way you can be at the right table, in the right conversation, with the right people, as the Most High has set it up for you to do. That's your obedience right there. That's the setup for your obedience. Now, how you follow through with your obedience, that's between you and the Most High. But at least he'll put you in the right space and place, as long as you are willing to be used that way. And if you seeking him to be used that way, strategy and execution, absolutely. That's everything I'm talking about. That strategy and execution is everything.
Exactly. Because bro, I can read between the lines. You just spent. I'm gonna put it in numbers. You just spent $5 million worth of game. It didn't say nothing, but you spent $5 million worth of game. Now, how you do that,
man? By telling y'all about the book of Numbers right quick. How the Most High organizes. You know what I'm saying? How you get in line and play your part. That's organization.
Go ahead and teach then. Listen, that right there, and see, I say it all the time. We in the background, there's a lot going on with Salt of the Earth Productions hence the name, right? I give y'all that all the time. But I tell you all the time, we ain't putting on the YouTube streets or anywhere else the stuff that we contemplating, the stuff that we working on, the stuff that we doing. It's on a need to know basis. YouTube and the fuse and our enemies don't need to know what we crafting and conspiring and doing. You don't need to know those things. And you don't even know what we're doing, because quiet is kept. We may be putting our IPs, and I'm gonna say that openly. We might be doing stuff that y'all might be thinking heathen do it, but it's us. And I'm gonna leave that alone. That's all I'm gonna give y'all. That's all I'm gonna give you. But yeah, strategy and execution. We're not telling y'all everything that we doing. Why would we do that? This is an open discussion. Now, I know my family and my family be spitting, but this ain't everybody that's watching. My family ain't the only ones that's watching. You got the enemy watching. You got the so-called your so-called brother watching, he's your enemy. He'll stab you in the neck, Officer Tatum, for a bag of butter biscuits without the gravy.
Mm.
And then you got ones that come like they spit a little bit of truth, but they come with half truth because they just in it for money. You go back and look at our catalog. We love our people. Point blank, period. We not only do it in word, but we also do it in deed. You'll come here, you'll jump on the chat, and you say, "Hey, I'm at home." When I'm at Saudi Air Productions, when the brothers are, "Hey, I'm with the family. I'm fellowshipping with my family. We in this is better than being in church, because you can speak freely and speak your mind. You can't tell no you the Pastor C. You don't want to hear nothing about nobody else bringing no precept. Don't try to come in here, try to teach that, try to show my congregation. This is my congregation. Get out of here with that. Go ahead, bro.
Man, all right. So, oh goodness, you saying it all hitting it all on the head. Like, oh my goodness! Shout out to my wife who just got into the chat a little bit ago.
Where's she at? Is that Miss Vida?
No,
Miss Vida?
No, Yazaret.
Okay, let me see.
You pulled her comment up earlier on. One of her comments. So shout out to my miss.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Right.
There it is. So you can speak to that if you want to. Shalom, sis. Peace and blessings. Hope all is well.
All right. Yeah. So Wise Society, I went ahead and forwarded your information to my issue right here, so that way, hopefully, y'all two can link up, and then we can set up a kingdom build. But I had to run it through my issue on that one because you being a woman as well. So
thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate that. And I just wanted to answer the question, and then I'm going to jump off about my mode of operation, or the mode of operation. And I appreciate you brothers giving me the time to even talk about this. I know that it's a challenging time and a challenging situation, but we have everything that we need to turn things around for our children and do what we need to do. My thing is always staying focused and not getting distracted. People try to co-opt you. They do all kind of stuff. Infiltrate. You think you touched on that, Brother C said. We probably got lurkers and enemies in the chat. And believe me, they are abundant when it comes to children and families. And so I'm super focused on the mission, and I'm not swaying off of that. I'm not going to stop. And I don't get distracted by all of these other things that can, suddenly appear, situations in the news, all kind of other stuff. Well, yeah, that may be for someone to pay attention to, but I'm focused on making sure that a generation comes up that knows the Most High and didn't forget about him. And so that's what I would say. Just whatever it is that the Father has given to you as a gift or talent or ability, stay focused on that and don't get distracted by all the shiny, glittery stuff, or even seems like political theater that's happening. Just keep your face like flint and go for it. And I just wanted to leave with that, answering the question.
Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you jumping on, and keep day one of next week open, because that's what the show is going to be about. We'll converse via email, but keep 8 o'clock PST open, because we're going to talk about this. And fam, tell the rest of your family members, your other family, to get this sister's email information, because she should be on everybody's channel ringing the bell for our children, because our children are the future. And that's not just a local colloquialism that we say or some buzzword. When we cross over and go to the other side, or when y'all do, because I'm still going to be here 1,200 years from now, but that's a different conversation. When most of us cross over, we'll see y'all cross over and be on the other side. Who you got left? You got your children left. They got to carry on this torch. They got to carry the mantle. And Israel, make no mistake about it. Israel's in good hands, but we need to get all our children, not just one. We need to take them all.
Right.
Appreciate you, sis. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
One of the things that I definitely encourage in everybody's prayers is I don't care where you put it at. I would put it, towards the end, but that's just my preference. It's up to you, wherever Most High leads you. But what I encourage you to do is ask the Most High to continue to teach you how to save a soul, even if that soul is your own. And Tom Spain, he alluded to a scripture about that, and then Nature's Graffiti dropped a scripture on that from Ezekiel about, even if certain prophets would have been here, that they could only save themselves. So a part of your prayer is to have the Most High continue to teach you to save a soul, even if that soul is your own. Now, this is the completion of this part, but also knowing that leaving an inheritance is the mission. Saving somebody else, that's the mission. So that's the goal. Keep that in your prayer. So the Most High teach you how to save somebody, teach you how to give you the game to make you a fisherman of men, and teach you how to have conversation to where you can win a soul, help them repent and come back to the covenant. Pray for those things. Pray for that kind of conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that way you're saving souls. You're winning souls for the kingdom. You're winning your brothers and sisters out of sin and iniquity. And this is a part of the other part of your prayer. You know what I'm saying? That we should already have understood. But one thing that the other sister was saying, and we was getting ready to talk about, and all of the things that who's watching with when you're discussing your plans and everything else, remember that that the Shaddayim, or the shades, the demons, they're watching and paying attention to you as well. So when you speak out your mouth, when you declare something, family, trust and believe, they're going to test you. They're going to try to interrupt you. They're going to try to distract you away from what it is you've declared. And obedience is better than sacrifice. So be obedient and handle that thing. But just know that everything that comes out your mouth that you declare unto the do, not only is the righteous Malachim, or the angels, watching and taking notes, but also the Shaddayim, the shades, the demons, they're also watching and trying to block you. So you're going to be tested in all that you do. Be very careful what you speak outside your mouth. You are a threat to the Shaddayim, the shades, to the demons. You're a threat to them when you are obedient. And you are a threat to them when you actually have good kingdom work to provide. When you have good kingdom skills to show forth and to do, your love and your passion is something that you show forth on a regular basis. But know that you're going to be tested. Fear none of these things, for they must come to pass. Fear none of those things. Walk in truth. Meditate on the word. Speak these things out loud. Shake Sheol by the words in which you speak. The word of power, the words of power and inspiration to save these children, to save your brethren and your sister. Shake them. Show them, put them under your feet. And this is how you do it. Once again, we're not at war with the person. I don't hate you. I'm at war with your doctrine. I'm at war with your understanding. I'm at war with what you don't understand. I'm at war with your false understanding. That's what I'm at war with. I'm not at war with you. I love you. But in order for me to show you that I love you, I have to correct your way of thinking. I have to correct the way you do things, because it's actually a hindrance unto yourself. And I have to show you that lovingly. And if I don't do it, then I'm a hater. I'm not your brother, because I know the right way to do it. And I'm scared to show you how to do it, which does what? It violates Torah. That's a respect of persons, a fear in the face of man. So I'm not to fear your face. I'm not to fear your reaction. I'm to fear the Most High. I'm to fear him, that if I don't tell you what you need to know, I got to fear what the consequences is, or the judgment of being a respecter of persons. and fear in the face of man. That's what I fear, not you. Like I said. So, but these are all like, this is a deep understanding that really is simple. And so I pray that y'all understand these things. I pray that this word blesses your spirit. I pray it encourages you, especially to do the things in which we are called to do, healing our hoods, healing our household. Why you think Yahushua said no man knows the day nor the hour? Because nobody knows how long it's going to take us stiff-necked, hard-headed people to get our thing together and to come back to the covenant. How long is that going to take? No man knows the day or the hour.
He did say Terry. He said Terry. Hebrews 10:7 for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. But he said Terry until I get to you.
Right.
You still got to be getting busy doing the work. Go ahead, bro.
Big old facts. And so don't misunderstand that the fact that Yahushua said no man knows the day or the hour. So how long it's going to take us to get our thing together. So don't be slacking thinking that it's going to take too long neither. Most High is going, he give patience and grace, but remember in Isaiah, Yeshayahu, that though there woe to those that say that the Most High is slack to handle his business.
That's right.
Woe to you. So don't think that you got all day. Don't think that you got an eternity to get your thing together, to get the covenant together, to pick up your cross, which is the covenant. So when Yahushua said pick up your cross, he said pick up your covenant, come back to the covenant. And there's a certain amount of time that it takes for grace. Grace is a time period. That's your time ticker. When the Most High sent somebody to you to wake you up, to bring you into obedience, you are now under grace. Yes, you are under a time period to come back to the covenant, to understand what covenant is actually about. And so, just like the parable says that the Most High sent word unto his chosen ones, that they should join him for this wedding, join him for this convocation. And some came, some showed up, but others had excuses. Don't be one with an excuse saying, how come you can't come back to the covenant? How come you can't just get right? How come you can't put down your sin and iniquity? Don't be one with an excuse saying that why you couldn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So don't think the Most High is slack to handle business. He's going to handle it regardless, whether you're ready or not. You know, if you don't do it, he's going to have someone else do it. And your branches must not be worthy of fruit. So he's going to do away with your branch if you don't put in this work. So I got to tell y'all that. Go ahead.
And then the thing that comes along with that, when he gave you them talents, you look at the parable of the 5 talents, the 3 talents, and the 1. And the Father has blessed everyone here immensely with a lot. You take that word talent and make that talents, not just talents of gold or silver, but talents that he's put inside of your spirit person, that you're supposed to bring those things forth, right? And so you take your talents and you don't do nothing with them. What are you going to do? He's going to take it away and you're going to give it to somebody else. Then when you see him face to face, he's going to ask you a question. Well, why didn't you? And you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to say you. I'm going to say Brother C. Brother C, go look at it face to face, and he gonna say, ask Brother C, why didn't you do those things that I told you? I told you to shake them people. I told you to do what I told you to do according to the book, and you didn't even do it. Why? How come, Brother C? How come you gonna call me by my government name or whatever name he got for me? And I'm gonna be stuck. I'm gonna be like, oh well, making excuses. I'm gonna be like how Dom did. Well, it was that woman over there. She made me do this here. Or it was the heathen, the pagan. It was white evangelicals. They made me do it. They made me do the worship on St. Patrick's Day and Hallows Eve. It was the white man. He did that to me. No, you already know what the truth is. So you should walk in and live in it, brother. Yeah, second Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. The Father is not. And we're about ready to close out, fam, and we're gonna have a part 2 to this because we just scratched the surface. But I'm gonna say this to you, fam. These will be my last words, and I'm gonna give my brothers the last words. We'll do a part 2 to this, and we'll do a part 2 after we do the show with the sister. If that's okay with you, brothers. If you brothers don't mind coming back on with the old head, I appreciate you.
Man, I love spending time with you, all right?
Yeah, because I love spending time with y'all too. Because y'all, number one, you know the book and you know who you are first and foremost. But we understand the importance of the law, statutes, and commandments, and how we should be walking in them. And I'm walking in them perfectly. I'm trying to. Are there things that I shouldn't be doing that I should be doing? Yes, there are. And hopefully I get corrected of those things without getting the rod of correction, because I'm tired of getting beat up and smashed by the Father. It's time for the heathen to get what we got. We brought it earlier. Earlier they was talking about my brother Yash. It's one of his favorite verses. You drank the dregs and wrung them out. Well, it's their turn now. And so we just sit back and watch. Sit back and watch what the Father is doing. The Father's not slack this day, family. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but don't it seem like he's moving on our behalf mighty expediently?
Oh yeah.
You should look for something to happen when something heinous is done to our people in that area. Well, I don't care where it is. They're all over the earth. If our people in South America, if our people in the Caribbean, if our people is in Egypt, if our people is in Bangladesh, if you do something evil to our people, the Father, you're going to have a visitation. And it's going to be a visitation. It's either going to be in your food, your water, or your land. Something's going to happen to you this hour.
In the air which you breathe is going to be
right.
in
That's right. That's right. The Father is not playing around, and he's not playing around with us. So we shouldn't be playing around with him, talking about you're playing church, you're playing Christianity, the broad gate. You shouldn't have no dealings with that. But we still love our family that's still caught up into that, and we love them and we pray for them. We pray that they come under the understanding of truth. So I'm gonna give you brothers the last words. Wait, but hold on a second. We got somebody. Hey, shalom to the people that just came in, that's coming in. Somebody has some tornadoes today. Them tornadoes ain't playing, and the X is not playing. I'm looking forward to 2024 because I know 2023 got the heathen turned upside down. 2024 is going to really turn it. Y'all know what the X is. I know who I'm talking to when I talk about the X. Now you should be looking. You say, okay, we don't want critical race theory. Okay, you don't want to tell the truth about Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner and what you did with convict leasing and what you did with Red Summer and what you did in the Civil War. The Father's gonna destroy your area. You do something heinous to one of our family members now, he gonna see you in your area. He coming to visit you right now. Yes, he is. So, fam, I'm gonna give my brothers the last words. I'm gonna start with my brother Rawls. Rawls, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you joining on. Go ahead and give the family the last words.
Oh man, all praise to the Most High Yah. It's been a humbling experience. Once again, beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, I'm just your brother. I am not your teacher. I'm not your master. I'm not above you. I just please understand my passion is because, you know, I owe the Most High more than I can pay him back, and I know it. I put it to you like that. That's why I have so much passion in my heart, and that's why I go so hard, because I know I owe the Most High more than I can ever pay him back. And so I encourage y'all to dig back into your word. It doesn't really matter who you're really learning from. It does matter who you're learning from, but I'm not going to say you have to learn underneath me or learn with me over on Red Letter Rap. I just encourage you to learn the word for yourself. I encourage you to study the word, dig into the concordance, dig into the definitions, dig into etymology, dig into a real understanding of the word, and then apply it to your life. Apply it to your everyday thing. Start with them law statutes. Start in Exodus and read your way through Deuteronomy. And everywhere that there's a law, a statute, or a commandment, or a judgment, highlight that thing. Meditate on them things. And then make sure, just like the scripture tells us in Deuteronomy, bind that unto your hand for all that you set forth to do. Make sure that the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and judgments is what inspires you to do, inspires your integrity, inspires your sense of worth and your pride of work, not your pride of life or that you're better than this, that, or third. No, none of those things. But sets forth the quality of who you are and the character of what you bring to the table. The Most High is our King. His word is our law. Live by that and show forth that every single day in which you set forth to do, and you shall be blessed. I'm giving you the word. This is the word. If you do these things, you shall be blessed above all nations of the earth. And so it's a humbling experience to finally understand the basic message that the Most High has been trying to tell us from cover to cover. And even in the Second Testament, he's telling us to come back to this covenant, come back to this basic understanding. It really is simple. Stop complicating things. Stop trying to be the man. Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. If you, like Yahweh Shai said, if you want to be great, serve your brother, serve your sister. Have the mind of a servant, and you shall be a king. You must serve other people in order to be a king. Has to be about everybody else and not about you. That's how you are a king. That's how you become a king. You cannot become a king by thinking you the smartest one in the room, thinking you just because you know so much, but you apply none. That's the same as Yahweh Shai said. You are close to him with the word, but far from him in your heart because you lack the obedience to walk it out. Now, and that's my message to y'all, man. I love y'all, family. Love you more than you'll ever know.
Appreciate those words, fam. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Brother Tone Spain, what say you, brother?
Yeah, I think the moral of the show should be that, for unity to take place, we need that Trinity offering. So if you drop the PayPal, brother, we can go ahead and get that started. Take up that collection. When the sister came in, it made me realize something. Just like with the situation with Kyrie and Kanye, when our people get into some nonsense, we get into some trouble with the heathen, we come together. We tend to come together, and maybe that's what it's going to take for some of us to unify. And then I also think about like what Brother Rouse was saying, the one who's the servant of all would be great. And also, like, in order to be a servant, you got to love the people you serve. And the Messiah spoke in great lengths about loving each other, loving your neighbor. And we've become each other's enemies. So loving our enemies, loving one another. And I think about the Apostle John when he said, how can we love him whom we haven't seen when we don't love those who we have seen? And it's difficult. It's difficult for us to love each other a lot of times because we are stiff-necked, strong-willed. We just sometimes we make it impossible for each other, but we know all things are possible with the Most High. And I hope I'm not coming across as cliche when I'm quoting some of these passages, but I just really have hope for us. And I think the more we dig into that word, and like the brother said, learn it for ourselves, it becomes more applicable. It's not just a writing on a page. These ain't just characters in a book. These is real people that we're going to get well acquainted with in eternity. And we need to get used to what was spoken through them. We need to get used to applying what was written through them and get acquainted with our Mashiach. Get acquainted with our Mashiach. So digging in that word is the best way to do it. And let the Spirit use you.
Praise.
All praises to the Father. I normally don't say anything. I normally get my spiel at close. I never say anything, but I will say this. The Israelites are in good hands with these young brothers right here. It's a blessing to see young brothers touting the book and talking about the book. I get excited. I normally don't close like this, but I must say that. Israel, y'all in good hands with these brothers and sisters that know this book. So as I normally say when we close, this has been another Salt of the Earth production. y'all saying that in the comment section. Now, I'm going to say it like I always tell you. Ain't none of y'all saved, but y'all need to get saved. So go get saved then.